Oiler Insider, and Jersey Aficionado.
That ball was drilled deep to right field toward the pole. It is gone! Off the pole! What a bat flip! And the Phillies have just tied this game up at 1.
60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream.
Now lines it to left, and this one's going to go. Cowabunga one more time in this series. It's 2-0.
It's all gas, no brakes.
Batters facing relievers in back-to-back nights.
Ernie with a drive. Out to left field and deep, and he'll watch it go. Clement puts a dent in the Crawford boxes, and the Blue Jays lead for the first time in the game. Boy, did he need that one.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Fire it up. It's Thursday, almost the weekend, and we're happy to be with you right here on the Tom Gazzola Show. Brought to you by Bet365. Tom Gazzola, Brandon Douglas, Donovan Paulson back from Toronto. Right into the studio hours later. That is commitment right there. Good morning, everyone. Join the conversation. 1-833-401-1440. We always want to hear from you. You can also hit us up on our YouTube channel if you're watching live over there. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate it so much. Of course, Bet365, presenting sponsors of the Tom Gazzola Show. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Bet365 hit the biggest home run in Canada. Forget it. Step aside, Ernie Clement, because it's Bet365. And then you know who else was touching grass yesterday at the Diamond? Brandon Douglas. Hello.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I was I was actually trying to avoid the grass because despite my thoughts that I noticed a real uptick in the dragonfly population in my community of the city, the mosquitoes are still absolutely rampant and just terrorizing us at our slow pitch doubleheader. Last night over here on the West End, Sister Anata Brockman Diamonds.
Okay.
And 1-1, the Tropics pick up their first win of the season.
Excellent.
Well, second half of the season in the summer league. So we needed it badly. Get the confidence up going into the home stretch. And you know who was playing on the other team?
Who?
Tommy?
Tell me.
No other than local legend, celebrated and well-decorated curler, Jeff Walker. You know Jeff? Have you met Jeff?
Okay,
we've had him on. He curled with Gushu for a long time.
Okay, hang on a second, because we worked with a Jeff Walker at 1260.
Different Jeff Walker.
This one's an athlete.
He's an athlete, all right. Olympian, bronze medalist in 2022.
All right.
Briar champion several times over.
Respect the hell out of that.
World champion, I believe, on the ledger too. So, and is honestly all around really good guy.
That's cool.
And I think Beaver Lodge is his hometown.
Yeah.
But diehard Oilers guy, Edmontonian kind of most part these days. So really good. He just came over and chatted with me for a bit because he's been in studio and him and Kevin go back quite a bit. He's played in Kevin's golf tournament many years and things like that. So really cool to run into him.
That is excellent.
Yeah,
I love that.
When you're out and about, the people that you run into.
You never know.
You never know who you're up against.
You're squaring off against.
Going up against Olympians.
Yeah. And did we hold our own yesterday? How's our knee today?
It's pretty sore.
Oh, no.
I'm playing in a tournament this weekend back home, the famous Elnora slow pitch tournament in tandem with the Bramorama.
Of course.
I'm going to actually have to play the field in a couple of these games because of bodies in and out over the weekend due to other obligations. And I'm a little curious to see how that's going to work out if I actually have to try and run for more than 45, 60 feet at a time.
You were DHing yesterday?
Yeah, I did not touch the field defensively once.
Okay.
We had lots of players there, so I don't need to go out there and hobble around and pretend to try and play.
And you were sipping swing lubricant?
Oh, yeah, some green diesels. Ice cold. I brought the big cooler for the double header. And, always bringing extras to share. Of course, on ice. It was great. Nice night. Not necessarily sunny. It was pretty cloudy. which made the Bugs, I think, even more happy to come out and play. But
Mhm.
beautiful evening. Glad to get outside and enjoy this fleeting summer that we have here.
Don't
Edmonton.
say that.
Sorry, I'm just a realist.
Oh,
It's a
no.
fact.
Did we have a gibbous moon yesterday?
No. But when I was golfing with Eddie on Monday
Yeah.
morning, we were out there pretty early. The moon was still actually hung up. You could see in the sky well into the later part of the morning. And I told Eddie, I was like, Eddie, you know what phase of the moon that is? It was a waning gibbous on Monday. So by this point, I think it's probably close to a waning half moon. I actually didn't check, to be honest.
Well, you guys teed off at 4:47 a.m.
No, 6:20.
Oh, geez, that's so much better.
It was. I think we were like the second or third group out.
Okay, I respect that. I will not join you at that time of day.
You're not an early morning golfer?
Absolutely not.
You're an early morning worker now, Tom.
Yes, that's different. And
so you're willing to get up early to go to work, but
That's
not
right.
to go and have some fun?
well,
That
to
seems
me,
seems a
golfing
little backwards.
golfing that early in the day is not fun for me.
Oh,
I am a bit of a soft when it comes to golfing.
you're a fair weather guy?
Very fair weather. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
That won't do.
No, I
Rain or
don't-
shine,
No.
snow even.
No,
Get out there.
no, not worth it. Not in these conditions when we have extreme temperatures in Alberta. I have golfed on Thanksgiving. That was frigid.
Mm.
It was enjoyable though. When the sun was out, it was good. The leaves sucked. Hard to find your ball if you didn't track it well. But yeah, the rain, no thank you. The early morning, anything before 8 a.m. sucks, in my opinion. I know there's some people that love it.
But what if you're like the height of summer when the sun's already fully up by 6:30 in the morning?
Oh, no.
It's already 15, 20 degrees minimum. Even still, you're not biting that?
No, the body's not up and running just yet. It just doesn't work that
Well,
way.
just get
for
up
me.
a half hour earlier and then go hit the range for a little bit. Get some swings in.
Now that's logical, but I wouldn't do it. It's just
To
me.
each their own.
I know. And I respect, like I said, I respect the early morning golfers. Some people, you get your round in, especially those that could get them done in like 3.5 hours.
Well, that's
fantastic.
At that time of the day, it usually is a little bit slower. And when there's only 2 or 3 groups out in front of you, the chance of getting way backed up is just logically less, right? So you can maybe breeze through a little bit quicker. It's not always the case because who knows? One of those groups in front of you might very well be the slowest players that are out there for the day.
Usually those early morning golfers are pretty quick.
Well, yeah, because they're usually the seniors.
Yeah.
The locals.
The locals.
And they're just buzz around there. Shoot a quick 83 and head in for some morning coffee and brunch at the clubhouse.
Exactly. Which is just fine.
Sounds like a good morning to me.
Add an hour or two on there and it sounds even better to me. Donovan's in for Fenny. You are back from a trip where you went and enjoyed some baseball. Tell us about it.
Well, fellas, obviously back from the great city of Toronto, and we got to.
Okay, you're done.
Well, I first time going there, so I got to check out the Hockey Hall of Fame for the first time, and
Isn't
then
it awesome?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I loved every second of the Hockey Hall of Fame. There's just so many cool, unique things in there that you're never ever gonna see again. And then you pan over to the baseball, which, as we know, the Jays not that great. I did get to see one win. So that was nice in Kevin Gausman's final start as a Jay. That was awesome. The salute by the crowd, everything that you thought needed to happen in a Kevin Gausman final start for the Jays happened. And then I got to be in a suite for the second game, which was unbelievable. Thanks again to Mr. Andrew Walker and his good friends. I will say that was probably the most fun sports experience I've personally had. That was a blast. Just with my buddies.
Full house too, right?
Full house. My buddies up in there with me. The baseball for the first game was great. The second game was a little tough to watch, but it was it perfectly encapsulated the Jays season because the offense goes out with a whimper, and you watch some pretty tough baseball all around. But my trip to Toronto was a full-on success, and I loved it.
You were fulfilled.
I was super fulfilled. It was a great time off.
And you also went to Niagara Falls.
I did. Yes.
Did you go out on the boat?
I did not go out on the boat, but I did make sure to beat out the rest of the traffic out to Niagara Falls because if you haven't been out there, basically the traffic gets absolutely bananas if you don't go before like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Is that the 401?
I don't know what the highway. I guess you're probably right.
I've driven it a few times,
but it's a disaster if you don't get out there early enough. And
That's a good note because we're planning on going down to the falls too. We're renting a car and I think we're going out on the boat.
Make sure you get out there early because otherwise you are going to be stuck in traffic for hours. And it was fun. It was great. Niagara Falls. I would say it lives up to its billing. Other things in Toronto maybe don't, but Niagara Falls, I would say, lives up to the billing.
I'm happy to have you back. I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad you had a great time.
Thanks, Tommy. It was everything I wanted it to be as a guy's trip.
Excellent. How many buddies did you go with?
Me and a couple extra. We had one other buddy from here, and then we had a little bit of extra flair. My buddy from Toronto is he was kind of our tour guide, and we were trying to have some buddies from Vancouver come along, but they unfortunately couldn't make it. So it was a 3-man trip, and some guys had to cancel. So
that sucks. You made it though. You had a great time, and that was your first time in Toronto. You said
yes, first time.
There's a lot to do there. It's just a big city.
It's a big city with about 17,000 people too many.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there. Might I recommend Chicago the next time you decide to dip into a really big city?
Okay.
It's a step up from Toronto for
Is
sure.
It?
Oh yeah. Better culture. I swear the people of the Midwest are wonderful. There's a touch of New York in Chicago, but with the Midwest charm.
Okay.
Whereas every time I go to Toronto, I find it's just everybody's a jackass. I'm like, why? Why are you like this? Maybe it's just me. Maybe the aura of Chicago is what I'm enamored with. But Dono, it's a good step. That was your first mega city?
Yeah, I'd say that was my first well, no, actually Vegas. I did Vegas on a guy's trip too. But
Vegas is it's a glamorous, glitzy and glamorous city. Great sports town as well. But Toronto is one of the biggest in North America. So there's obviously New York City, LA.
I've done LA.
Yeah, LA, but LA's so spread out, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of like little hubs.
Yeah. So
Houston, Toronto, Chicago, Phoenix is massive. It's 6 million plus. Those are the big cities in North America.
That was my first
Mexico
time
City, obviously,
on a guy's trip doing that.
That's awesome.
I've done Arizona and Phoenix as with parents and stuff.
Phoenix also kind of spread out.
Yeah, but
Toronto's condensed.
Those guys trips when you have the sporting events with them, there's nothing better.
Any stories not fit for air?
Yeah, there's some stories not fit for air.
Excellent,
as Kevin would say.
Good. That's how those trips should go. I love it. Okay, I'll ask you during the commercial break. We do have a fantastic show for you. Ben Standig, Last Man Standing Substack, covering the Commanders, will be joining us in about 6 minutes. Speck will be with us at 8 a.m. Then Megan Montemurro from the Chicago Tribune talking about those Cubs. What a game yesterday with the Dodgers, the NL MVP race between Pete Crow Armstrong and Shohei was great. Both guys with 2 bombs each, and the Cubbies pulling off the win there. Paul Sir, talk a little bit of basketball. The Stingers wrapping up their season 9-15 on the year right now. Doesn't look like it's going to be too good of a ending to the year for the Stingers. Plus, there's some other storylines to get to with them, obviously. DVD, I saw him last night on his way to the arena as I was leaving the Ice District. He'll give us the scoop on the Gretzky or Hlinka Gretzky tournament. And then Connor Halley from the Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show will be joining us as well. We've got a couple of texts that have come in. Oh, what do we got? There we go. Scott's on his way to the course right now. 7:36 tee time. He walks 9 every morning. See, I respect that. There's a consistency there. And if that's part of your routine and you're good with it, awesome. I just know it doesn't work with me. That's all I'm saying. Jay in Victoria says, welcome back, Donnie. Have a great show. Love golf any time of the day. Do love the morning tea time. When the dew is on the course, it's tranquil. Of course, when I used to drink 9 a.m. was a better start for day drinking. Jay in Victoria. Yes. Touche, Jay. I mean, I haven't even played in a tournament yet this year, but the early start with a coffee and Bailey's, I always find to be quite nice. But if I'm paying for a round or going for a round for leisure and fun, I don't want to start before like 8:30, even 9. And I don't know how much I'm getting after. It depends on what's going on the rest of the day, but I get it. And again, re-emphasizing to those that like the early morning round, like Eddie and Brando do, all good. If it works for you, it's the best. But to me, what I appreciate about those early morning rounds is you're usually done pretty quick. And you got the rest of your day to do whatever you want. So that's always a good thing. Anything else, boys, that we need to touch on? No? Everybody's good? You're good? You're satisfied? What did you love most about the Hall of Fame, Donald?
Oh, that's such a good question. I'd say the old forum setup with the Habs
In the that locker
at
room?
that locker room.
With
Yeah,
all the goalie gear and stuff?
I that one, I don't know why it necessarily stood out to me, but I thought it was just, I'm not even a Habs guy. I frankly don't like that team at all, but I loved the way they had it all set up, and it just showed you the wealth of history within that franchise, and whether it was, Larry Robinson, Patrick Waugh, Lafleur, like literally you name them, like all the check stops were there set up with their gear. It was unbelievable.
It is pretty neat.
Do you have one
From the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I like how they have like all the old championship trophies, like the old World Cups, because there's been multiple iterations of it. They have the Avco Cup from the WHA. They have the old Canada Cup. I always thought that was really neat. And then the like the Hall of Fame plaque room and the trophy room is obviously amazing. And you go see like the original Stanley Cup in the vault, because it used to be a bank. And then you see like when they have to retire a strip or a ring, how they flatten it and then they put it on the wall so it's all like preserved. It's very, very cool.
Everything in that place was cool. The thing that I found the most, I guess, funny or interesting was like the chairs of the old arenas, and you look at what some of the people had to sit back on during the olden days, and it's just like literally just the world's worst chair.
It's wood.
Yeah, like fully wood
or like tin.
Fully wood or tin, and it's just awful, and you can just tell sitting on that for 3 periods, it would be the worst experience ever.
Yeah, I mean, but back then, I mean, the evolution of how we take in a game or a sporting event has changed so much, even from the 90s. Guys are talking. We were talking yesterday with Mike Harrington about Buffalo needing some upgrades at Key Bank Center, and that was built and opened in '96. And he's like, "Yeah, it's old and tired, and things have changed so much. Creature features, as they say." But yeah, back in the day, you just get a wood bench, or a tin bench, or a little seat. It's much, much different nowadays. Pillman chiming in says his favorite part of the Hockey Hall of Fame, the evolution of the goalie mask, was his favorite. Also very cool.
That was number 2.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, we're off and running here, Thursday edition of the Gazzola Show. When we coming up next, we're going to talk about the Washington Commanders with Ben Standing from Last Man Standing Substack. That and more right here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing. You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhock Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself. Signed and everything.
You can't just wear it.
I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit av.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$7:22. Happy Thursday. You're listening to the Tom Gazzola Show right here on Sports 1440. Tom, Brandon, and Donovan with you as we cruise along. It's been a quick week. Nice short week. Really enjoying that. Of course, you can text us 1-833-401-1440. Get into the discussion over on the YouTube side of things. If you're watching over there, hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. We've been doing our NFL previews. We appreciate Ben Standig from Last Man Standing, the Substack, hopping on late in the game. And big thank you to Ben as we welcome in. And the news was Stephon Diggs, 1 year, $12 million signing. Ben, first of all, good morning. Secondly, why is this a good move for the Commanders, and what kind of impact will Diggs have on this receiving core?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think, Terry McLaurin's obviously established as one of the better receivers in the league, but there are other spots. Yeah, it's pretty unsettled, uncertain. Some young guys that haven't, still developing, and some older guys that are, good depth, but not necessarily guys who won't playing a ton. Diggs has been mentioned for a little bit here. He is obviously has been one of the best receivers in the league. Now he's maybe on the downside of his career. He turns 33 in November, and not as fast as he used to be. All that, but he's a guy that last year helped Drake May and the Patriots. That offense, go all the way to the Super Bowl. He's very productive. He's got a lot of competitive spirit about him. He's also from this area. Hopefully that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, all right, they could have let it play out and see what they had, but instead they went for something more akin to a sure thing. And I think now it gives them, with Diggs and McLaurin, if Diggs still has plenty of gas left in the tank, that's a pretty scary combination.
Definitely. Now, like, his fit in the locker room, is there any concern there, or do you think he'll be just fine, especially just on a 1 year deal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a big variable for sure. But from what I've heard, and I've heard others report same things, like he was a great fit for New England in this regard. And, hopefully that's the case here. They've talked a lot about building locker room culture and all that kind of stuff here since Dan Quinn, Adam Peters showed up in 2024. And I think they have done a fairly good job at it. But, it only really plays out when it gets tested. And I'm not saying they will be tested, but, hopefully if there is anything that they have the goods in the locker room to, not have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you're a Commanders fan, you want this thing the ship to be turned around. And I mean, it's been a long time coming, certainly. Okay, bright spot, Jaden Daniels, obviously at the helm. What's the expectation for him this season? How has he looked thus far in training camp, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that it's funny how after his rookie season, which was, one of, if not arguably the best rookie season for a quarterback in modern league history, last year was a disaster. Injuries knocked him out for 10 games. Of the 7 he played, he only finished 4. The whole team was kind of a mess, and it's interesting to see how many people now seem to be downgrading Daniels based off of that. And I get it, but I still think the a lot of what made him so good the first year is still applies. They've done a better job now of getting him some help. We just talked about Diggs. They've built up the offensive line. I think Jaden Daniels is still poised to have a pretty good year. Now, is he going to stay healthy? I mean, obviously, I can't predict that. People are going to look at his relatively light frame. He's not built like Cam Newton or Josh Allen or anything. But at least the injuries, there were 3 different injuries last year, but none of them were like overly significant on their own. Like it wasn't like you had, tore something or broke something. It was just a little this, a little that. So is that going to be a problem going forward? Obviously we'll have to see, but I think, if he's healthy, I think he'll be much closer to the guy we saw in 2024.
From your observations with him, like what are his leadership qualities like? Because you want to believe in your guy under center, right? You want that guy to be someone you look at and feel a lot of confidence in. And I'm sure he wants to be counted on that way as well. But how has he developed and evolved in that regard, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think he did a good job of getting respect from like day one when he walked in the locker room. He's not the most like outgoing guys. If they have him mic'd up, I'm sure you'll hear him talk some trash, things like that. But in general, he's more of like an introvert type, which is not always what you expect out of somebody at that position. But he really, like I said, he really does get a good job of gaining respect. I mean, we obviously spent a lot of time this offseason talking about Brandon Ayuk possibly coming here. Well, the reason he might have come to Washington was because he and Jaden Daniels are super tight. I can't remember if he has exactly used the phrase best friend, but I know Rashad White has. He's the running back, a former Buccaneer who's now here. He's called Jaden Daniels his best friend. And I wrote a story a year or so ago that he and Malik Neighbors are arguably best friends. And I only bring that up to say, I don't know who's calling me their best friend. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot of people who really seem to be tight with him. So, I think he's well respected. He gets to the building like he's one of the first people in the building every day. That obviously gets a lot of attention because if the quarterback is doing this, putting this extra work, how are you gonna guide down the line? Not so. Yeah, I think he's done a pretty good job. I also would say that this year he seemed a bit more, business-like. There's a little more sort of gumption in his responses. When he's speaking with us. Before it was a little more just casual. Now it's a little more business-like I said. So yeah, I think he's well. He's done a really good job in that space.
We're joined by our best friend Ben Standig from the Last Man Standing Substack, talking Washington Commanders. There you go, Ben. There you go.
Appreciate it.
Yes. On defense, like I've been reading, just keeping tabs on teams around the league and checking headlines every day, obviously. A little bit of turnover with the cornerbacks lately, if I'm not mistaken, with the Commanders. What's going on there?
You said the cornerbacks?
Yeah. And the DB?
Yeah. So I think that's obviously receiver gets a lot of attention before Diggs. It's, I think, the fantasy football aspect of it a little bit. But cornerback to me has been the bigger question. And, to a certain degree, it remains that way. Trey Amos, who was their second round pick last year, started. He fractured his leg fibula in week 10 last year. That should be, and generally speaking, plenty of time to recover, to be ready by training camp, at least, all those months later. And yet he's still not going. He's on the PUP list. They're saying that it's just some soft tissue. soreness, but it's now still going. It's still a week in the camp. Apparently today is going to be a big evaluation day, so we will see what goes on there. If he's available, that gives him at least one guy that has at least the upside of being like a legit, top end corner. After that, they signed Rasul Douglas just before camp started. He's a guy that's, a veteran who's been around the block. I think they needed that depth. Mikey Sanders still is another recent second-round pick. He's been better on the outside than in the slot. They, I think, prefer him in the slot because he's not the biggest guy, but he's got good ball instincts. But, is that going to translate enough on the outside when he's giving up a lot of size? We'll have to see. And the safeties, they got pretty good depth. They signed Nick Cross as a free agent, a former Colt. He'll be their best safety. So they got pretty good depth at that spot. But yeah, it's not the most like dynamic of groups, the defensive backs. They upgraded their pass rush though a ton. So the standard story of if the pass rush is there, that helps the secondary, and I think that would be huge in this case. I think that's what their plan is, and especially at the cornerback, they're going to need to get some help because it's not it's okay, it's passable, but it's not the greatest group on paper.
Right. I was going to ask you, Ben, too, like any other areas of concern for this Commanders team going into this season?
Yeah, I think the interior offensive line is a question right now. You've got at center, they released Tyler Biadasz, who'd been their starting center the past 2 years. It was a bit of a surprise, but they released him this offseason, and they tried to figure out some other things. They've landed now on Nick Allegretti, who's been a bit of a mostly reserve for most of his career. He started at guard here a bit the past 2 years, but he got benched last year. He has played center in the past, and they think his communication skills are going to be a huge deal to help their cause, but he gets hurt on the first day of camp, and that exposes the fact that they really don't have anything much behind him at all. So that's a question. He should be back soon, Allegretti, but still, it's just a reminder that there's questions there. And then the left guard spot is a competition. You've got Chris Paul, who was the starter for the last 15 games last year, and he did a pretty good job in pass pro, but hadn't really distinguished himself much before that. And then you have Brandon Coleman, who was their third-round pick 2 years ago. He started at left tackle before they got Laramie Tunsil. He was also the starter last year, but got benched after 2 games. He is a tremendous athlete. I think they would prefer him to win the job, but we'll have to see how that plays out. So both of those spots are kind of up in the air to a degree, and obviously right in front of Jaden Daniels, not necessarily where you want some questions, but that's at least something right now.
I was going to follow up. I know Daniels is going to be on the run a lot to begin with, but is he going to have to be concerned on every snap, in your opinion?
No. I mean, they've obviously invested a lot in tackles the last couple of years to get Laramie Tunsil, who, had a really, really strong year last year. And then they re-signed him. Sam Cosmi at right guard, before he tore his ACL in the 2024 playoffs, he was trending to be one of the better guards in the league. Now he's over a year removed. I think that Pro Bowl potential is still there. And they drafted Josh Connerly in the first round last year. Slow start, but he picked it up late. He's been a little bit off, I would say, in camp, but the potential is there to be really good. So those 3 guys, give them some significant upside. And then, like I said, it's not like they're going to be bad necessarily at center and guard. It's just the bigger questions right now.
Ben Standig with us covering the Washington Commanders. And Ben, since the move from Dan Snyder to Josh Harris, how would you describe this franchise now? Just in all aspects, because things seem so foul whenever you heard about the Commanders in years past, and obviously their last name that they had prior to changing it. But how would you describe it in the last couple of years here?
Yeah, I mean, you just asked me a bunch of questions that only have to do with football, and that's been part of the story here the last couple of years now, is that there's really nothing. They were working to get a new stadium, kind of standard fare, which they did get, and there's always a little bit of something here and there, season tickets, but by and large, it's a pretty good group. Josh Harris, who also owns the 76ers and the New Jersey Devils, he's a guy that grew up in this area, crazy fan of the team and all that. He's been at practice the last couple of days, and I wouldn't claim to know him terribly well, but he always comes across as a pretty nice, normal person. And, that's a big upgrade for what it was. So, I think that there are still some fans who are, maybe just lost from becoming, big time fans again. But a lot of people have come back. And, like I said, they've also done a pretty good job of identifying what they need to do to help the players. They upgraded the locker room. They upgraded the practice fields. Even with the stadium, which, the current stadium is not considered to be one of the better ones in the league, to say the least. But even that, they've tried to do more than just put lipstick on a pig. They've tried to, for as long as they're going to live there, they've tried to make it hospitable for the fans, for the players, et cetera. So I think by and large, they've done a pretty good job of that. And I just one other key example, John Riggins, who's arguably the best player in franchise history, Super Bowl MVP, all these Hall of Famer, all these things. He had stayed away, as many alumni did during the latter stages of the Dan Snyder era. Now it's come so all the way back that Riggins is going to be part of their preseason broadcast team.
Wow.
He's embraced the changes here as well. So, don't listen to me. Just listen to the guy who's, like I said, the best player in franchise history, who's come around to want to be part of this in a real way.
That's a huge tell. It really is. And if guys stayed away from the stank of the previous ownership and didn't want to be a part of it, that's, I think, a huge indicator of things. And if he's coming back, that's fantastic. And then quickly on the stadium, Ben, are they just retrofitting, was it RFK Stadium, or are they completely tearing it down and rebuilding it there?
Yeah, no, it's a complete tear down. It's the old stadium. It was so sad. It just existed. It's in the city, and you could see it, like, depending on what highways you were driving by, and it was just so sad. It just rusted out and looked dilapidated. But it's gone now. They're going to build the new stadium on the same space. It should be ready, they hope, by 2030. And I think everybody's very excited to catch up to the rest of the modern world in terms of stadiums, and giving them, if not a true home field advantage, at a minimum, making it a place that people are excited to go to. And so 2030, it can't get here soon enough in that regard.
That's cool. I'm a stadium geek and self-proclaimed, and I like to watch the evolution of stadiums or new ones being built, for sure. All right, Ben, in the NFC East, how do the Commanders stack up against the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants?
Yeah, this is the toughest question you've asked, because I really don't know how to make heads or tails of kind of any of these teams. I mean, you can point to all of them and say, okay, here's the reasons for optimism, but the downside is pretty evident as well. I think if Washington can have a reasonable amount of injuries, not like last year where they were just getting crushed, I think they're one of those teams that's in that they could get 7 wins. If the ball goes, the bounces go their way, they could get 9 or 10. I think the Giants are probably somewhere in that boat. Dallas always has a lot of potential, and that never seems to come to fruition. And obviously the Eagles have been the best team the last couple of years, but they've had some attrition now. They lose A.J. Brown, et cetera. So, you kind of, it's hard to say they're going to come in first after, only winning 5 games last year. But, I think they have a real shot to be a playoff contender in this whole division. Honestly, you could tell me what any order you want, and I might be like, all right, I can kind of see it. So it's going to be interesting. I need a little more time on this one to give you a really good answer, I think.
You know what? I just enjoy the Cowboys suffering and falling short of whatever expectation, lofty or absurd, that they have going into any season, because everybody seems to think they're a contender. And when they fall out of it, I just laugh, because I have a bunch of buddies that are Cowboys fans. So we'll see how it shakes out in the NFC East. Ben, thank you for this. You're our new best friend. I hope that is okay with you, and appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
There's Ben Standig. Check him out. Last Man Standing Substack, covering the Commanders. Good information as we go across the NFL and get some previews there. Do you guys like the Stephon Diggs signing in Washington?
I was surprised. I'd convinced myself and talked into it that he was going to be a Baltimore Raven, because it just seems so obvious that the Ravens needed a little more help at receiver.
Right.
They obviously signed Flowers with the big extension, but after that, still some question marks, and, new coaching staff in Baltimore. How do they put their stamp on it? But this makes sense for all the same reasons, right? Commanders still obviously had a a lacking in the department of receiver, and the long rumors about Ayuk, but then his continued meltdown on social media and stuff made it seem like nobody wants to touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. We still need another receiver, preferably a veteran one, and Diggs fits that bill, even if he's not the same player he was 5, certainly 10 or just under 10 years ago at this point. So
I see you have a poll on YouTube. How much will Jahmyr Gibbs get after the Bijan and JT deals? What say you?
The poll's up.
What say you?
He'll clear Robinson.
Yeah,
he'll be the new richest running back in history.
But how much above?
Just like no, I don't think anybody's clamoring to, like the Detroit Lions, obviously, are not clamoring to shell out huge money for him. And this is huge money, especially for running backs in the recent trend we've seen around the NFL. It's kind of the fall off of that position group and how they're calculated and how they're valued across the league. But if it comes in at like a few $1 million more on the total deal, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't looked at the actual poll. I have to go vote in it.
I just voted. The money that's being thrown around now is crazy. And what did Bijan get? 75 mil?
Yeah.
51 guaranteed, I think.
Yeah.
Man, he had the biggest grin on his face.
If Gibbs comes in at $80 million total with 65 of it guaranteed, yeah, that kind of seems to fit the bill to me.
Damn. Donald?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the higher paid guy. It's just how much above. I wouldn't be surprised with, probably 80. But also at the same time, would he still be holding out if...
Well, he's at practice today.
That was a fake out, apparently. According to a somebody on the Lions.
I saw
beat.
via Ben Raven, who's on the Lions beat that.
And then I saw via another guy that it was a fake out. I don't know what the actual case is now, but
I find all of the drama with like free agency and guys holding out for more money or trying to renegotiate contracts, like the drama that comes with it, I love it from like a arm's length standpoint. But if you're a fan of that team, it must drive you bonkers.
The greed must be absolutely rage-inducing.
So Ben Raven, who we've had on the show across several different, or on the station, excuse me, several different shows. An hour ago, he said Jahmyr Gibbs is out at Lions practice in pads and helmet, going through drills, and then followed that up shortly thereafter off to the side with trainers by the hill now, still out here though. And I think he was probably just, I don't think he was getting attended to by trainers, but just kind of
standing by them,
being a spectator more than a participant at that point.
Well, phew, obviously, but it's interesting, just the way, the antics, if you will, the cat and mouse game, whatever you want to describe it as in the NFL, it's on a different level. It really is. And quite frankly, it's entertaining. But at the same time, if you're a super fan of that team dealing with that scenario, probably super frustrating. Here we are, 2026 in the National Football League. A couple of texts to get to before we go to break. First time caller. My handle is Victor E in the truck. Washington Commanders have the best offense in the NFL. It's going to be a very long year for the Eagles and Cowgirls. Ha, 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 ha. 4 ha's in there. HTTC, baby. Go Oilers. Go Elks. Victor E in the truck with that one. Welcome, Victor E in the truck. And then Hammer texting and says, hey, Tom, I'm looking for another couple of best friends if you're interested. I will discuss with Donovan and Brandon. And we'll see, Hammer. We'll get back to you on that one. All right, we got to step out for a quick breather. When we come back, more discussion, more of your texts. Keep those coming in. 1-833-401-1440. It is the Gazzola Show on Sports 1440.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Alberta, we're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And though everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
I'm 49. Hope you're doing well out there. A little chillier today, which is okay, I guess. No more rain. No more rain, please. It's the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Tom, Brandon, Donovan, in studio with you. Of course, join the conversation, 1-833 401-1440. We got a couple of texts to get to before we get to spec at 8 o'clock for On the Mark. King of Fort Neste says, good morning, fellas. I love how the new Zek comes off like these football players make too much money. Hypocrite. What is that in regard to? And what am I missing here?
So King of Fort Nasty has called me Donnie the Exec for going on the better part of 2 and a bit years now. So
okay.
I guess, well, I'll tell you this for free, King of Fort Nasty. Not exactly a hypocrite. Well, unless you think I actively make way too much money, which you don't know my salary. So I don't know about that one.
You have
but
tremendous side hustles.
yes, I might have great side hustles.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's an ongoing gag that I'm learning about.
Yes, yes, it is.
Now, listen, it's been a month now. I started on the 6th of July. And I've settled in. I feel very comfortable here. It's been very, very welcoming. But there are still some nuances and tidbits I have not encountered yet. And I think that's the first time I've come across that. The exec. I like that.
It's a good one. I've always appreciated King of Fort Nasty, and he always he does that every single time. It's in relation to me, so you'll see it for sure a lot more.
All right, I look forward to it. I get it. Thank you, King of Fort Nasty. And then Murray B text earlier. He said, "Early morning round, listening to the soothing sounds of Sports 1440, the Tom Gazzola Show." Thank you, Murray B. He's on the course. There you go, another one of those early rounds. But I know Murray. He's a hardcore golfer. Like, he'll get out there. I've golfed with him. I have not golfed much this year. 3 rounds, that's it. My back's killing me. I'm getting old. It's been a time of change, but we'll try to change that. Indeed. Okay. Is there any late breaking news that we need to get to? No, doesn't look like it. Very quiet. Very quiet. Dog days. Jays win yesterday. Ernie Clement is the hero. They have a game this afternoon at Wrigley against the Cubs. I'll ask Spec if he's going to watch that game because it's a makeup game for a June 21st postponement. Gausman will not be on the bump. He goes tomorrow in his Cubs debut. Do you think emotions will be high in this afternoon's game at Wrigley, regardless?
No. Well, to be honest, since it's at Wrigley Field,
it is.
If it was Gausman pitching, I think it'd be a different situation. But even still, he'd get his reception making his debut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going up against his old teammates, sure. But it'll be much different when Gausman makes his eventual return to Rogers Center. Without him playing in the game, right. I think this is just another makeup game. It's a weird one, you know, just plugged in here on the trip from Houston to Philly for Toronto. It's always nice for a little midday action at Wrigley where traditionally they played a lot of their games middle of the day rather than in the evening. So I'm sure Speck will still be watching. I mean, what else is he going to get up to?
If it's chilly out, he's not going to be lounging by the lake.
It won't be a deck game.
No,
it might be a couch game instead for Speck. But no, I think Gausman not pitching pretty much takes the jam out of it.
I think so too. Kind of an unimportant game. Although the Cubs are trying to, they're very securely in a wild card spot right now.
Yeah.
They should be just fine.
They're equally far away from catching Milwaukee as they are away from dropping out of a wild card spot. Like, they're pretty much know what they're going to be. They're going to be a wild card team, probably the top wild card seed or very close to it, barring some changes. Like, they're 5 games up on both Arizona and Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how teams can streak in either direction, but I think the Cubs are pretty confident that they can hold on to a number 1 wildcard spot, especially after the reinforcements they got, including Gausman, to their pitching staff. So I like the Cubs a lot. They're a team I think can really do some damage here. And we just saw them sweep the Dodgers, including going up against Tarek Skubal. So
yeah,
come playoff time, who knows? Maybe this could be the team that could be everyone's rooting interest to take down the evil empire.
They are likable. And
there's just something about Chicago, like the Cubs and at Wrigley, like, unless you're a White Sox fan or a Brewers fan or something, division Cardinals, of course, like another division rival. Yeah. I don't know if there's many people that really hate the Cubs across the world of baseball.
Yeah.
Just outside looking in opinion from me. So
great game yesterday too.
Oh yeah.
Pete Crow Armstrong, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, Shohei Ohtani, a couple of dingers. They just went blow for blow. It was good. And then the Cubbies obviously pulled it off in the end, like you said, Brandon, sweeping the Dodgers. And then on a local baseball note, unfortunately, the Riverhawks do not qualify for the postseason. They were in tough in those last 9 games. and they were on the road, and they couldn't pull it off. I know there was a ton of different scenarios with them. Was it Kelowna, Kamloops, and Bellingham? And I think if they could win out their final couple games, it would secure a playoff spot. And then, unfortunately, they couldn't do it. They put out a nice statement yesterday, nice tweet. 2026 Riverhawks season comes to a close tonight. The Hawks finished just shy of a playoff spot, battling until the end, which is true, in an incredibly competitive WCL North Division. Yeg, thank you for another unforgettable summer. We couldn't do it without you, best fans of baseball. It has become a wonderful, wonderful thing every summer to go down to the ballpark. Kids everywhere. They get those days where you could bring your dog, for crying out loud. The prices are right. The entertainment value is great. In-house is tremendous. There's a genuine care for the Riverhawk fan, the baseball fan that wants to come down to the ballpark, and a tip of the cap to the Edmonton Riverhawks for a great season. So couldn't pull it off in the end, but job well done. Shout out to everybody over there for another tremendous summer of baseball here in Edmonton. I know not as easy and much tougher sledding for the Cactus. What's Energy City? Cactus Rats. Yeah, I know the ballpark there is having a bunch of issues out in Spruce. Hopefully that gets sorted out, and we've got another baseball option for people in and around the capital region. But Riverhawks knocking it out of the park again this year. Tremendous stuff, and fall just short of the playoffs yesterday, unfortunately. So, all right, we're going to step out for a quick breather. We're going to get to Sports 1440 update. When we come back, it will be On the Mark with Mark Spector. This update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating. Free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Breaking news out of the NFL this morning as the Indianapolis Colts and running back Jonathan Taylor coming to terms on a 2-year, $44 million extension is the latest halfback to cash in across the NFL. The deal, maximum value of $47 million, including $39 million guaranteed. From the NBA's offseason, Canadian Dylan Brooks and the Phoenix Suns come to terms on a 3-year, $73 million extension. That'll keep them with the club through 2030. In the majors yesterday, the Blue Jays take the rubber match over Houston 5-4 in an extra inning. Ernie Clement with the extra inning homer to propel them to the victory. Around the rest of the league, the Cubbies finish off the sweep of the Dodgers 7-6. Rays blank the Rockies 4-0. And the Yankees, they fall to the Cardinals 3-1. WCL action last night from Bellingham. The Edmonton Riverhawks season coming to a close as they fall to the Bells 6-2 and end up missing the playoffs by just a game. Coming up in hour 2 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, as well as Megan Montemero from the Chicago Tribune covering the Chicago Cubs. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free Radio Player app and listen wherever you go.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Greger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
You're in charge of ordering boxes, small boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$8:02 on a Thursday in August. It's the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T and C's apply. Of course, that means terms and conditions. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Hop into the chat over on YouTube if you're watching over there. We always appreciate that. And let's get to On the Mark with our good friend Mark Spector, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Is employee pricing really a good deal? Yes, it is. This month, shop at Northgate and you pay what they pay all month at northgategm.com. Spec, we were talking about this earlier. Is today because it's a bit chillier, not like it's cold or anything like that, but compared to what we've been dealing with when there hasn't been rain or storms or lightning or trees falling and cracking and breaking, it's been hot. But today's kind of a chillier day. So if you're out at the lake and you want to watch some baseball because there's a makeup game between the Cubs and the Jays at Wrigley, are you watching on the deck or are you watching inside?
I don't know. What time's the game?
12. Yeah. Noon.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, deck for sure. Yeah, deck for sure.
With hoodie?
Yeah, maybe with a hoodie. Yeah, for sure. I think plus you kind of like I'm a guy that kind of walks around and does some things for the first 4, 5, 6 innings, and then if it's a good game, I settle in. It's time to take a break from whatever I'm doing and actually pay attention for the last 4, innings or so. I'm probably not like bolted to my seat for 9 innings of a game on August 6th, but I'm saying outside. Outside's the one today. Come on, you got to tough it out. Like it's going to be 20 degrees. It's not like it's going to be 3 degrees.
Good point. That's so true. I know you are a Cubs fan. Like, have you been like dialed into and tracking them as the season has progressed? Because we were talking about it earlier. We're going to have Megan Montemurro on from the Chicago Tribune after On the Mark. Like that game yesterday was nuts. Ohtani, Pete Crow Armstrong, couple dingers each, and these teams going blow for blow. Are you like day-to-day Cubbies, or are you just like, let's see how they're doing?
I'm a little how would I say? My heart's always there. I start paying a lot more attention when like this is a perfect example. They're they're right in it, right? Aren't
Mhm.
they? Or are they in the wild card?
Securely in a wild card spot.
Yeah, they're firmly in the wild card spot,
Yeah.
but they're probably a little ways behind Milwaukee here. What do we got? 5
5 and a
and
half.
6. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
5.5 games behind Milwaukee. But that's fine. Just get in the playoffs. So yeah, at this time, it's time to start paying attention. They're playing some really cool series. They just swept the Dodgers,
Mhm.
which is, that's pretty rare. No one sweeps the Dodgers. Now the Jays are coming in for a game, so that's going to be fun. So it's time to start paying a little closer attention to. I think baseball in general right now is when you start to say, okay, like let's look at the standings, see who's leading. Like what happened to Kansas City? How come they suck? I don't even know. I just know that they're way at the bottom of everything. So sure, this time of year to start watching ball, isn't it?
I think so. Definitely. Because what did Brandon call it? Did you say the summer is fleeting? Oh,
It's fleeting.
I
Yeah.
don't want to say that.
It's fleeting. That's a great word, fleeting.
It is a good word.
Yeah.
He has a broad vernacular, as you know.
Yes. Yes. There you go. Broad vernacular.
Okay. Before we dive into a couple of things, like what the hell do you do all day? I know you have a couple hits. I know you have a couple
Hold
of hits
on here.
station, but like when you're at the lake, what are you up to?
I don't know. That's
And I
the
mean
beauty.
that in the nicest, sincerest way. The boys are laughing their asses off.
That's the beauty. Well, I got to cut some grass today. It's Thursday.
Okay.
So got to cut the lawn. It's going to take a good 45 minutes. I've got a granddaughter coming over today, so that's gonna command my attention when Shelka shows up with Lily here.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday I started a new John Grisham book, so that took some time. You got to get the first few chapters in so you get embedded in the book.
Yes.
Geez, that's about it. I'm running out of things already. It's called relaxing, Tom, right? It's called.
No, I don't know much about it.
These
guys
it's
are
called like
laughing
chilling out in the summer so that you've got some stores of energy and you're ready to go to work in September. I'm chilling out right now, man. That's
it's
my
gonna
life.
get busy. Yeah, I didn't mean that with any malice.
That's okay.
at all. You know that. These guys are laughing their asses off. I'm like, what's Spec doing at the cab or at the lake all day? So thank you for filling me in on that. I
There's
appreciate
always
it.
something to do.
Yeah, of course.
Got to get a hot tub in. Probably have a hot tub today.
As one does.
As one does.
Yeah, especially when the weather dips like it is today.
Yeah, it's cold. It's a good hot tub day today. See?
Excellent. Okay. One thing, we got some news from OEG. They hired Hugh Weber as the new CEO, replacing Jurgen Schreiber. And like Spec, you know this. Like these are guys that we don't hear about day to day from an organizational standpoint, but talking to people from the team and in the organization yesterday, very excited about this hiring. And then talking to people with the Devils, where Weber was prior or before for a time, they are glowing about this hire. And I was pleasantly surprised because it looks like they're bringing in someone who can actually instill some good culture from a corporate point of view.
Okay, well, so Jurgen was like a really high up guy close to Daryl Cates, correct?
Very much so. Yep.
Yeah, so I never even entered his orbit. I was like Pluto compared to that guy. So, I mean, honestly, I don't even know him. I just knew that I would hear things like, well, we were talking about doing this, but Jurgen got involved and everything changed because he had so much influence on what was going on. So that's all I got on Jurgen. I don't know. Does he leave of his own accord? Did they kick his rear end out the door? What happened?
No, I think he's still kind of like one of Daryl's right-hand men kind of thing. So less on his plate.
That's what I would expect. Like
Yeah.
Daryl's Daryl is that bazillionaire guy who has a close circle of trust.
Yep.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not in it. So I don't know much about it. I'm sure you aren't either. But when he gets a guy like Jurgen who he trusts and he's handed the keys to the car of the keys to over the years, I would have been shocked if he just cut him loose. That's not something that happens.
No.
Probably there's too many secrets there. So now you're bringing in a new guy from the Jersey Devils, and what do we suspect what are we announcing that his actual role is?
Yeah, CEO of OEG Sports and Entertainment. So not just OEG, but Sports and Entertainment, which I don't know. I looked at that yesterday. I'm like, did they add the OEGSE recently, kind of under the radar, or was that something that was
Yeah.
there before?
I've never heard the SE on the end of it.
Yeah, it's
Whatever. It's just another big corporate slogan.
Yeah.
I kind of thought Harrison is trending towards running the Oilers, but clearly not ready to run an entire NHL team at this point in his life. I like Harrison. He's turned into a really sharp, friendly, good guy. Every time I run into him, we have a nice chat. I'm happy to be able to report that he's a pretty good. I want to say kid. He's got to be. How old is Harrison Cates now?
25, I believe, and he just finished up law school at NYU.
Yeah, so he's ready to set out, but not. I mean, you can't just hand him the organization. So maybe this is part of it. Maybe he'll work closely with the new guy here, and it's funny. Like Harrison's gone from that big gangly kid with the hair on the draft floor stage to being like quietly working his way. One day he's going to run this team. Is my point, right? One day he's going to run this team, and again, this isn't a guy that I know. Really, really closely or anything like that. But I run into him here and there, and he's sometimes the sons of really, really rich guys have personality challenges. He doesn't. He's a normal, regular, good guy. Seems like. I've never done business with him or any of that. I'm not saying I have, but I quite enjoy when I run into Harrison on the road. He says he's like a nice guy.
Yeah, already an alternate governor for the team. That's the thing. And
so that's what you do when you want a young guy to learn the ropes, right? Yes. Come to these meetings, don't say too much, observe and listen, learn.
Yep. He's been in hockey ops meetings, I think, since he's 18. And talking to some Oilers hockey ops people last week, they all really like him, Spec. And we're talking like guys in their 50s and 60s that are like, you know what? He's a really nice guy. Just exactly the way you outlined it. And I know, especially when you talk about him being on the draft floor and on the stage and part of that, I think there was obviously some jealousy, but some people would be like, well, it'd be nice if my dad owned the team. Well, guess what? His dad does own the team and he loves the team. And like you said, pretty good head on his shoulders and might be a good thing when the time comes for him to take over.
Hey, I mean, look at I'll put the cards on the table. Sometimes guys, young people who grow up with absolute privilege and in a position where their dad is a multi gajillionaire guy, owns the local sports team. Sometimes they act that way. Sometimes they turn into people that you think, oh my God, look at that rich kid. He doesn't seem to be that way. He seems like a guy that I'll bet you he's in those meetings with his mouth shut and his ears open and learning. Because if all those old hockey guys like him, I can tell you this. I don't know much about Harrison and the Cateses, but I know a lot about old hockey guys, right?
Yep.
And
if
he was showing up in those meetings, flapping his gums and telling people how it is, they wouldn't like him so much. So that's a good sign if he gets accepted by the old hockey guard, because they would be skeptical of the owner's son. That's just how hockey works, man. The owner's son hanging around at 18 in the meetings. You're not supposed to be in those meetings when you're 18. So good for him. He's obviously handled himself well. And let's see what happens. He's, again, one of these days he'll be running this team. So, sounds like they've been grooming him for a long time. And when the day comes, he'll probably be ready for it.
Yep. Nope. Very fair. Very fair. One more on the evolution of hockey team front offices, because now we see organizations with like 5 AGMs.
You said 6, I think.
Yeah. And then like special advisor to the president of hockey ops operations on top of that and this and that. What are your observations of the way the front offices have become so robust and changed in the last decade or so?
Well, there's two sides to it. There's the, let's talk Edmonton, because that's what our listeners are familiar with. With OEG, Oilers Entertainment Group, there's the side of all the people up in the office tower who are charged with, growing the brand, making money, finding new revenue streams. That side has become really robust. You and I almost never deal with them or never. And for instance, the Flames go from their little old homey building. The Flames have always been a very colloquial organization. They're not too big. People have worked there a long time. Everyone knows each other. It's very friendly. It's a trip to the Saddle Dome is always great. They make you feel welcome. When they get a new rink and a whole bunch of new concerts and all that stuff, they're going to grow like crazy. And that means you bring in all these people from other places far away who haven't been with you for a long time, who don't share all those traditional old Saddle Dome Rexall Place values, blah, blah, blah. So the Oilers did that. They've grown immensely on the business side. That doesn't mean you have to have 5 assistant GMs on the hockey side, right? I get how you have to have a really robust front office to try to maximize these. It's a business. They're supposed to make lots of money. That's what they do. That's why they charge 25 a beer or whatever they charge. But that doesn't mean you need, 18 different hockey executives trying to make your hockey team better. Sometimes the room gets too crowded. So there's a fine line to walk there. Like, sure, get a lot of business, but don't tell your GM he's got 7 guys in every meeting, because that's probably not what he wants.
Yeah. It's interesting. And the Oilers aren't the only ones guilty of it. That happens. Like you said, the Leafs are one of them. And it's just all these new titles. You're like, what the hell does that person do?
I think Calgary will be a case study in this. I think Calgary, because they're about to go down a road that we went down, whatever it is, 9 years ago.
Yep.
And I think you'll see the Flames, grow over this season. They'll start hiring people.
Yep.
And prices go up. The prices, you got a season ticket at the Saddle Dome. I'll bet you it costs more at whatever they're calling the new place, Scotiabank Rink or something like that.
Yeah, Scotiabank Place. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right. Like, I was part of that. Rexall Sports and Entertainment became OEG. Yep. And we went from like 100 employees to like 350 almost overnight. And it went from a close-knit family, everybody cares about everybody.
Who are you again?
To basically you're a number, and if the new people don't like you, you're out. And there's growing pains that comes with that. So you're right, the Flames are going to go through that.
Yeah, well, culture is important. So like if you're going to do that, and we all accept that you're going to do that, and you have to grow, you got to have more people. I get why it happens, but it's important to shepherd how it happens, right? You don't need to become a big faceless, soulless corporation. You don't have to do that. Right? You can actually still maintain some of those values that we're talking about and get bigger at the same time. It's tricky and it's a balance, but now you're talking about a guy they're bringing in from Jersey who's in charge of culture and all that. Well, there you go, right? Maybe that guy should have showed up 6 years ago.
Could have used them, man. I swear, there's some bad people that I'll just say it. They had hired some bad people, and good thing they flushed a lot of them out.
Yeah,
Spec. Enjoy your time with your granddaughter. Enjoy
whatever I do out here all day. That's what I'll do.
Your hot tub, sitting on your deck, and always appreciate it. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
All right, Tommy.
See you tomorrow. There's Mark Spector on the Mark, brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. I'm going to find out why these guys are giggling so much in this commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Megan Montemurro from the Chicago Tribune, covering the Cubs. More on the way here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Do you know why people love working at GS Construction? It's honest work. It's work that needs to be done. And we're really good at what we do. That's why GS Construction has been in business for over 50 years. We won't be wearing a top hat and tails, more like hard hat and boots, because we're heading underground to keep the water flowing in and out of your homes and businesses in Edmonton. GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and top men. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
You want it? We got it. At Harley Davidson of Edmonton, we have a huge bike inventory just waiting for you to ride. We're not a car dealer. We're your local family bike shop. We are riders supporting riders. Come find your dream bike here at Harley Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find us at hdedmonton.com.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no breaks. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
8:21, we continue on here on the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Time to get into our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, stepping up to the plate so you won't have to. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca, and we welcome in Megan Montemurro from the Chicago Tribune, covering the Cubs. And Megan, thank you for hopping on today. Really appreciate it. A hell of a game last night. My goodness. Watching Shohei and Pete Crow Armstrong go toe-to-toe, a couple of dingers each, and it is the Cubs that prevail. Take us through the roller coaster ride of emotions that fans might have been experiencing yesterday at Wrigley.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Cubs fans were ultimately pretty happy with how the game and the series played out. But I think if you're just a fan of baseball and would be watching the game yesterday and seeing Shohei and Pete Crow Armstrong, matching each other throughout the course of the game, it was obviously very entertaining. A great example of why the two of them are, the front runners for NL MVP. And yeah, I mean, I think when you just kind of look at how that game in the series played out, it would be really interesting if these two teams meet again in October, especially as both of them are continuing to get healthy. So overall, it was obviously a very highly entertaining game.
To sweep the Dodgers from a Cubs perspective, is that a statement in your opinion?
I mean, I don't know if they would say that necessarily. I mean, they've been one of the best teams in the National League this season, obviously. And I think since mid-June, they have the best record in baseball over that span, or close to it. Mm-hmm. And so, I think that's kind of what they expect. I mean, their offense is one of the top run producing offenses in baseball. And so that alone is going to put them in a lot of games. And so, maybe for other teams around the league or other fans of other teams, maybe it puts the Cubs on their radar a little bit more. But obviously, adding what they did, the trade deadline, especially with Kevin Gossman and Clay Holmes, obviously that sends a message that their front office fully believes in their ability to not only obviously get to the playoffs, but make a deep run.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Obviously, we got to talk about the additions to the Cubs roster. How much of an impact will that have on this team, and how much of a contender does it turn the Cubs into, in your opinion?
Oh, I mean, I don't think you can overstate, given all the pitching injuries that they've had this season. When you can add two starters like Gausman and Holmes, that's obviously a boost. And, even though they have guys that are continuing to get healthy, they'll be getting starter Edward Cabrera back probably around mid-month. And so, yeah, I think really, those two additions, you have a guy in Holmes too that come postseason, given his closing experience, I mean, they could very well put him in the bullpen during the postseason. So it just gives them more flexibility and really help supplement a roster that's been built around defense and obviously one of the better offenses in the league.
Okay, I know we kind of veered off into the additions, but going back to PCA and his chase for the NL MVP and racing with Ohtani to it, do you have a clear-cut favorite? I know yesterday, the odds makers, there were a bunch of them that mid-game, Crow Armstrong would jump ahead of Ohtani, and then Ohtani would hit a home run, and then he was the leader for NL MVP, if you want to put a little sprinkle on that. How do you observe this race for the NL MVP?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Obviously, there's still a ways to go. And I think obviously a component of that will be if Shohei starts pitching again this season. I know obviously he's already had, I think, like about 85 innings of like 2 earned runs allowed average. And so, obviously that's super impressive. But I think just like what PCA has been doing this season, I mean, watching him play defense on a daily basis and balls that he gets to it's pretty insane. And I think part of it is, because he's so elite out there, he doesn't even need to dive for a lot of these balls. Like that's how insane some of his jumps are and his reaction time. And so like maybe because, I'm sure fans are like, well, why aren't we seeing more highlights of him, making diving catches and stuff? And he's so good that he's getting the balls without even having to dive most of the time. And so I think when you look at his defense, he's been hitting leadoff for a good chunk of the season now too. I mean, he's already tied for the 7th best or 10th best F4 in Cubs history. And so I just think like the way he impacts the team in all 3 phases is pretty remarkable. And I mean, there was a stretch from May into June when like the rest of the entire offense was, I mean, in a collective rut. And, he really was the driving force that prevented them from really cratering in the standings. And so I think, it's going to be really interesting how it plays out. I know, if Shohei gets back onto the mound at some point in September and can log more innings, it'll obviously make it a more closer case. But I think right now, I would think it would be in his favor.
Megan Montemuro joining us. She is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Okay, and they're talking to Crow Armstrong yesterday and asking him about his huge game, obviously, and he was trying to deflect and talk more about the team and saying, I want to see this team in October. I want to see this team do some damage. Are we talking, I mean, you talk about the record and being one of the best teams in baseball over the last little while. Like, is this a true contender in your opinion, or are they kicking it into high gear for those that are kind of just hopping on the bandwagon late in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they're a legitimate contender. I mean, obviously their path to getting to the World Series will be much more difficult if they can't chase down the Brewers, and you're forced to play that extra series in the wild card. And with it being a best of 3, anything can happen in a series like that. But I think when you just look at the lineup, I mean, that's just such a tough lineup, top to bottom. They have so many different guys that can beat you on a given day, and their defense is easily, the best in the majors. Yeah. I mean, they could have like easily 5 to 6 Gold Glove finalists. And so like that combination is going to be so tough. I think, if the pitching can stay together down the stretch, obviously the reinforcements at the trade deadline help. They added a really interesting reliever from the Angels and Ryan Zephyrdon. And so, yeah, I mean, I think they have to be taken seriously, as the schedule gets closer to October.
The Cubbies get the Jays for a game that gets plopped into the schedule because it's a makeup game from June 21st. What are you expecting this afternoon at Wrigley?
Oh, I mean, I think it'll be a good matchup. I mean, another tough pitcher that the Cubs offense gets to face in Dylan Cease. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's part of a tough stretch for the Cubs. I mean, they're playing 17 straight without an off day. They don't have an off day till Monday. So, it's going to be a day where they're probably going to have to grind out at bats again, but it's a lineup that has been, pretty successful in making opposing starters work.
Well, I know you know this, but the Jays have not been particularly good, and all of Canada weeps. So they'll be watching, hoping for the best with the Blue Jays, but obviously the Cubs are a dominant force. Megan, thank you for this. Really appreciate the time. Enjoy the game this afternoon.
Yep, thanks for having me on.
That's Megan Montemuro from the Chicago Tribune covering the Cubs. She is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Batting 1,000 against clogs. That's mrrooter.ca. Good stuff there from Megan out in Chicago. Any hope for the Jays today, boys? after their win
They're
yesterday.
red hot, Tom.
I know.
Come on.
Sure.
I tweeted it out over the weekend. It might have been, was a holiday Monday. I think I had laid a little action down over at Bet365 on a same game parlay with the Jays, and it won. It was a great ticket and a nice little bonus boost for, if anybody's still on the fence about what sportsbook they want to use. Bet365, great one. I kind of like something like that immediately just buys me back in. I was fully out. I was deterred. I was cashed out. But now, post deadline, they obviously sell off a couple pieces. They add Soriano. We know he's going to be a big part of this team moving forward into years forward as well. And as a result, I'm kind of now just a little bit more laissez-faire about them, where I say I'm still going to watch, despite the frustrating nature that they play the game with sometimes, both offensively and defensively. Dylan Cease is on the hill. That gives them as good a chance as, frankly, any team across the league right now. And the offense has looked a little more lively. No, they're not putting up 10 runs a game, but starting to try and generate more offensively. So I'll give them a chance today. You know what, Tom? I might even sprinkle. I might sprinkle
responsibly
over at Bet365. It's always responsibly, of course.
Excellent. Dono?
I'm going to join you in this sprinkle.
Are you betting with your heart?
No, I'm actually not.
Okay.
I think anytime that Dylan Cease is on the mound, he gives you basically the best chance you possibly can to win in baseball right now. I mean, the guy's, he's kind of neck and neck with Cam Schlittler.
Jays are favored in
the
this
Cy Young
baseball
race.
game.
They are, and they should be.
Damn.
David Peterson's going for the Cubs.
With
right.
Cease on the hill, like that's just kind of the difference it makes. Where you're probably only going to need, as long as Cease can have some length to him, and then you lean on a couple high leverage guys to clean things up if need be. You probably only need 3 runs to win a baseball game, maybe 4.
Can they get those runs?
If you can't get 3 runs against David Peterson, that's when you know you're not good enough. David Peterson just sucks. So his numbers have been better since going to the Cubs, but that guy's not very good at baseball. So if you can't score against David Peterson, that tells you a lot about where this team's at.
We'll find out this afternoon. Down at Wrigley. Good stuff from Megan Montemurro. There was a text that I saw. I want to tie it in here. It's from Buck. Buck says, "Hey, Tommy, Speck is a true Cubs fan. He even played for the Mama Pizza Cubs back in the day. He played with my big brother, Buck." I believe it. I wouldn't doubt Speck for a second. He's not here to lie. The Mama Pizza Cubs sound like a fun time. Were there beers afterwards? Was there pizza afterwards? Was there both? Did we go to Mama Pizzas afterwards? So many questions. Love it. Norman at Combine. Good morning, Norm. Says, good thing Speck doesn't have to drink every time you say laughing their asses off. They were giggling. They got a kick out of that. And then Brian says, who does not like the Cubs and the Poison Ivy fence? They completely redid that outfield a couple of years ago. And if you've had the good fortune of going to Wrigley, it is a very neat experience. And they've kind of done this at Fenway as well, where the ballpark isn't just the standalone building itself. It's kind of taken over the streets surrounding it. Like the Cubs bought up land beside Wrigley. They built an office tower where everything is situated. And then they built a beautiful locker room in that office tower. And what they did was created a tunnel underneath. There's a little park, and I think there's still a street there. I remember I was there 7 or 8 years ago. But they built a tunnel from that beautiful clubhouse in the office building into the stadium and into the dugout. It's very, very cool. And then there's bars and restaurants all around there. I think there's like a few statues and stuff like that. Very, very neat what they're doing with the very old structure. I think, what did it open in 1912? Wrigley Field. And then Donovan, they also have old wooden seats in the upper deck bleachers. That's where I sat. And there's poles in the way.
The bleacher creatures?
Bleacher creatures.
Tom Gazzola was one of them.
I was on the third baseline. It was really cool.
Amongst the locals.
It was awesome. But if you were to compare Fenway to Wrigley, there's a lot of people that love Wrigley more. I really got a kick out of Fenway. And I'm not a Red Sox guy or anything like that, but I just thought Fenway was both were really neat, and both have been very well maintained. And like you can see 1912 or 1950, whenever they were built, in some of the spaces, the nooks and crannies and the narrow hallways and stuff like that. But then you look at how they've modernized these stadiums while keeping the essence of what it used to be to a certain extent. It's pretty cool. And the Cubs, I mean, obviously we joke and say MLB is like a license to print money, but it's a neat experience. It really is. And in Chicago, like I said, I recommended it to you for your next big city adventure after you did Toronto last week. I'd say go to Chicago. Check out Wrigley. I don't know much about the White Sox and their setup.
What you need to know about, I think it's called Guaranteed Rate Field now.
Yeah, it used to be Comiskey.
It has a reputation of having some of the best ballpark food across the entirety of the major leagues.
That's important.
And the White Sox are actually good now.
About damn time.
So in the past, if you were making a little trip to Chicago in the summertime, because much like Edmonton and other Canadian cities, Chicago gets a bad rap. You know, the harsh winters and the lakefront, I think, makes it even worse at certain times than what we endure here in different ways. But Chicago summers are very lauded, very positive. People love it for the same reasons. Lakefront, it's right there.
Yep.
So if you're making a trip to do the double dip, whether it be maybe catch a day game at Wrigley and then go for a night game down on the south side or separate days, it's actually worth doing now because both teams are, at least current iteration, very competitive and a lot of fun to watch when you talk about the young upstart White Sox and then this offense that the Cubs trot out, led by MVP, second favorite right now, PCA. Like, why not? Sounds like a good time to me.
It is. No, listen, it's a huge city and has some dangerous parts to it. And you hear about the violence. That's like any huge city, but it really is world class. And it gets overlooked because if you're going to travel out east, especially if you're living on the western side of North America, you're probably going to New York or Boston or something like that. Or you're going down south to like Florida. But you kind of skip over Chicago, and it's in the Midwest. And I love it. Absolutely love it. If you ever get a chance, highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a really neat place. And yeah, Wrigley's cool. Guaranteed Rate Field, you said? The best ballpark food I've ever had was hot tachos at the old ballpark in Arlington. It was tater tots slathered in chipotle cheese sauce with jalapenos and other peppers, sour cream, and salsa. And it came in a box with a handle. And it was 40 degrees. It was the Jays and the Rangers in the playoffs. And I was stuck in the left field bleachers, upper deck, for this playoff game. 40 degrees in the Dallas area. And I'm just destroying a box of hot tachos. I was drenched in sweat. Some of it from the hot tachos, some of it from the 40-degree blazing heat. And the Jays absolutely dummied the Rangers in that game, en route to winning the series, if you'll recall, back in 2015. I've had a Dodger dog. That was good. But there's all kinds of wonderful things you can get at ballparks. And usually the prices are half decent. Usually. Not always. Anyway, we've got some text to get to. We've got more on the way. We've got Cam and Eggs coming up. We're going to continue to roll on here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365 on Sports 1440.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
This summer, cheer on your favorite teams at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with tons of big screens. Plus, Sully's Big League menu has it all. Small bites and big bites, game day food and drink features, something for everyone. From the gridiron to the diamond, this is the place to catch all the action all summer long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Not sure where to turn? Remember 211, the number to contact for mental health, addiction, and community supports. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
What is this? Tell me, Brendan.
Don't know Terry Clark?
No.
Canadian legend, icon.
Respect. I just don't know that song.
Canadian.
So we're
had success south of the border too.
She did.
Oh yeah, big time.
From what I remember, she was also quite attractive.
Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah. You would say fetching?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. As a young man, she definitely tickled my fancy.
In your formative years?
Seeing her music videos on CMT.
Of course.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And that song actually originally recorded, I believe, maybe not originally, but definitely previously recorded by Warren Zevon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting tie-in.
I only just learned that, I think, within the last calendar year.
That's kind of cool, actually.
It is.
The music world. It's fascinating.
I was just wanted to check. I'm trying to, and so Terry Clark. I just wanted to factor this before I said it to be wrong. Like Albertan too. Like grew up in Medicine Hat.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I knew she was Canadian.
Yeah,
and I remember you'd flip channels and you'd see CMT and Terry Clark would be on and be like, oh, she's pretty good looking. Norman at Combine says it was her 59th birthday yesterday. Is that why you played that song?
That is not why, but call it a happy accident.
Ah, Montana to Rice. I will not read that text on the air. You see, Brennan?
Oh boy, yeah.
I will not.
That's not true, and inappropriate.
It is over the line, as they say.
You crossed it.
It was funny though. Pretty funny. Donovan asked an interesting question. No chem and eggs, by the way. He's hanging out with Rick Hansen, I believe.
Just big dogging us.
No big deal. No big deal. Donovan asks about bucket list stadiums or arenas that you would like to go to. And I've had the good fortune of going to, I think, 17 ballparks in the MLB.
That's a lot of ballparks.
Yeah. Well, when I was traveling with the Oilers, like, if it was nice, we'd go to a baseball game, sometimes a football game, sometimes basketball games. It was a nice perk. And anytime we had a chance to go to a baseball game, I would go. I love it. Even basketball games, I didn't mind at all. Brett from Stoney says Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra. You brought that one up, Brennan. I said SoFi Stadium or Allegiant for football. So that's Vegas or LA.
Mm-hmm.
What would yours be?
Well, my list is very long because I've been to so few sports stadiums, period. It'd be easier to list off the ones I've been to than not. Edmonton, Calgary, Vegas. It's where I've seen hockey games.
Great place to see a hockey
Coors
game.
Field.
I heard that place. I heard that's a great ballpark.
That is it. Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah, listen, Commonwealth is functional. There's some nostalgia there, obviously. It's kind of neat, obviously.
Coors Field's really cool. Seeing the mountains out over the outfield, tilting back a few banquets, a few buckskins.
Delicious.
While you're in the place that bears its name. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, my list is very long and extensive because I've been to so few. And a lot of them are the chalk ones. You guys talked about Wrigley and Fenway and Lambeau.
I don't think that's chalk. Like those are. I wouldn't call those chalk.
Well, it's chalk because there's a reason everybody wants to go there. To borrow Connor Halley's expression about, people love to say things are overrated or underrated. He's like, no, everything's properly rated. Like things are popular because they're good or there's a lot of appeal to them and stuff. So there's a reason everybody wants to go to Fenway Park. Because it's cool.
Yeah.
So there's not and I don't mean chalk is not, to me, it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative, annotation to it.
I always thought it had a negative tone to it. So because Brett from Stoney is saying, how are they not chalk? I understand the popularity aspect of it, but I think that they're beyond that, in my opinion.
I think they are chalk because everybody's list has them. But there's a reason because they are spots that everybody should want to go to.
Yeah. You make your pilgrimage there, right?
Right.
If you will, for lack of.
I don't really know if I have a huge desire to go to Yankee Stadium.
It's nice. It's big. It's an experience. I don't have a desire to go back and do it. If the opportunity presents itself, obviously I would take it. Donald?
Mine are just the two big ones for me have always been Wrigley and Fenway. As a huge baseball guy, those have been my two forever, really. If I had to pick, I'd agree with you on SoFi. That would be a fun one. obviously, as a Dolphins fan, I want to go down to Miami and catch a game down there. There's just so many good stadiums. It's hard to come up with like a definitive list, but it's really just for me, Wrigley and Fenway. Those ones will, because they're just the most iconic.
They are. And again, I prefer Fenway over Wrigley, but they're both amazing, and I'm glad I've had the opportunity to experience them.
MSG too would be a great one.
MSG is amazing.
MSG's one up there too.
Amazing. Great place. If you get the chance to see a baseball or basketball game or a hockey game there, do it. And they pumped $1 billion into MSG about 10 years ago. It is a phenomenal place to see a sporting event. Brett from Stoney's giving me the gears, says SoFi puke emoji. The reason why is because it's a $5 billion facility. It looks incredible. Like the technology, I'm fascinated by all of that. I just want to experience it. And Allegiant, I have a soft spot in my heart for Las Vegas, and I would like to see a game there. I've been to a Cardinals game in Glendale. It was good. They lost to Buffalo on a last-second field goal. It was like 2015, I believe, 2014. And then I've been to what used to be Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and I've seen a game at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Those are my 3 NFL games. I don't think I've been to any other NFL games. I have not been to Soldier Field. I've driven by it. I've gone by Levi's Stadium. I've gone by MetLife Stadium, but I've not experienced an event there. I've been to Camden Yards, Norman. Amazing. It was everything you expect it to be. It's in a rough city. Obviously, Baltimore is a tough town, but Camden Yards is really, really cool. And it did usher in the new era of throwback style ballpark for sure. Good text, Norman. Montana Rice obviously bringing up Candlestick, but they tore that one down. Stony Jim says, guys, I went to a baseball game in Chicago and an NFL game, Saints game. Both of them were spectacular. Loved it. Stony Jim. Yep. And then El Nate says, downtown Chicago is second only to New York. Amazing city. Nashville would be cool. I've been to LP Field. I think that's what it's still called. They're replacing it. Or no, it's Nissan Stadium, right? In Nashville, where the Titans play. And then they're building the new Nissan Stadium right beside it. That one had a lot of similarities to Commonwealth. Kind of same style. Obviously, they juiced it up. Norman Combine. Oh, boy. Come on, Tom. Tell the folks you want to see Calahoo Rink and Ball Fields, home of the Chief. Even a statue of him. Yes, Norm. Yes. Norman asks about Pirate Stadium, PNC Park. Anyone been? I have a couple times. Amazing. Maybe one of the most beautiful backdrops in baseball. With you got I think it's the Roberto Clemente Bridge, overlooking the river, and then behind it you got the cityscape of Pittsburgh. It's fantastic. Oracle Park, I have not been to. Yeah. So any others, boys? Any other like bucket list rinks? Or?
Well, I'm a Texans guy, so I'd love to go see NRG Stadium, and it's a little bit on the newer side. So to see that, I think to go to Jerry's World in Arlington would be cool as well.
It is cool. Very cool.
So on the football side, and then Lambeau and Soldier, like, some historic ones definitely are on my list. On the baseball side, hockey, I don't know. Hockey rinks are a little bit different because they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
With very few differences. But MSG, see a basketball game or a hockey game would be very cool. And then, baseball wise, man, so many. Like, I'd like to check as many off the list as I could, because that's what's great about baseball stadiums. Each one's different.
Very much so.
Different park dimensions, different layouts. All these things are so unique about them that sets them apart from other sports. So, but Wrigley, Fenway, PNC as San Diego, I've heard is awesome.
Yep.
Petco. So, and then I think Dodger Stadium for the history of things as well.
Dodger
So to
Stadium's
take
super
your pick, like run down the list of MLB parks, and it would be shorter to name the ones I have zero interest in going to, because much like Donovan, I just love baseball and just sitting in the bleachers and the passive nature of the game. I think it's a great sport that lends itself to checking out the environment in which it's played. Sorry, Donnie.
You're all good. The one that we forgot to mention on the hockey side, without a doubt, for me, is the Bell Center.
Amazing. It's
I
the
thought,
cathedral
I thought you were
of
gonna
hockey.
say. I thought you were gonna say Mullet Arena.
Oh yeah, Mullet Arena. That's the one we all need to go to. Bell Center,
yeah.
for sure.
Bell Center is awesome. United Center is awesome. Obviously Vegas, I talked about that. Where else would be great? You know, Winnipeg is actually a tremendous atmosphere. They do a great job in Winnipeg. I have to give them credit. Philly, you get the full a-hole fan experience.
What my favorite thing about Philadelphia, and I wish more places did it, you walk 5 minutes and you're at every stadium.
Yeah.
They're all in the same spot.
I have been to the ballpark in Philly. It's tremendous.
Yeah.
It's great. I have not seen a stadium
Philadelphia, I
football game
think,
there.
doesn't get enough credit as a great sports city. Because I'd put it right up there with the likes of Chicago and New York. And LA. Kind of, I know that's a little bit more of a polarizing one, but man, say what you want about Philly, and like you said, the Philly scumbags, they love their teams.
They will give you a rough ride.
They'll give it to you.
And you get the full experience. And it's great. It's kind of like a-hole fans, and you're just like, that is amazing. TD Garden, Brett from Sony says, yeah, it's okay. And I know they renovated it, but it's all right. Norm loves the Houston stadiums, obviously. Jorge says Bridgestone is a blast. That's in Nashville. Yeah, and they're doing a massive renovation to Bridgestone Arena. It is a good time. Like, the bells and whistles of Bridgestone Arena need to be juiced up, which they're doing. But you walk right out of the arena and you're on Broadway, and then good luck to you. Mixing the water is what I would say. Not Fred says, I hear that saddle dump place in Calgary is quite interesting to watch a game in, with pieces of the building falling as you're entering. It's time to move on from the Saddle Dome. Not Fred. It's definitely time. It's good to see Calgary get a new arena, and actually them getting the new arena in Calgary will benefit Edmonton, because you know how Edmonton gets the concerts, Calgary doesn't, because the Saddle Dome roof can't sustain a lot of weight. So a lot of concerts will pass by. The fact that tours can now go to 2 stops in Alberta instead of just one, it's more economically viable for arena tours to now come through Alberta, with Calgary being able to soon have and house those concerts. So as much as it's nice as a point of bragging to say, well, they don't have a great rink and we're the only ones who can get the concerts. Yes, 100%. As an Edmontonian and kid who grew up here, I'm on board with that sentiment. But talking to event people and people who book the concerts, it has actually been a detriment, because less tours are willing to make that one lone stop in our province. And now with Calgary soon being able to have arena or concerts at arenas, at their arena, it'll be more beneficial. We'll get more shows rolling through town, bigger ones too, like the Killers, who have not been here since 2008. I'm completely biased, by the way. All right, lots of people with a lot of texts about arenas. I'll see if we can get to some more of them, and stadiums as well. It's funny what, like, those weird topics that pop up and people just jump right in on the text line. I like it. I like it a lot. Arenas, facilities, stadiums, those are all fascinating to me. I'm a geek for those types of things. So I like seeing those types of desires for fans of sports and teams, where they want to go see that next sporting event. Very cool, in my opinion. You know what would be awesome? Wimbledon, boys. And I'm not a massive tennis guy by any means, but I think Wimbledon would be just a cool sporting experience, in my opinion. Anyway, we got to step out for a breather. Paul Sir is going to join us when we come back. We got to get to the Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're talking or thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. Here's Brandon.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Another star running back cashing in the NFL as the Indianapolis Colts and Jonathan Taylor come to terms on a 2-year, $44 million extension. Max value of the contract is $47 million and includes $39 million fully guaranteed. Third largest deal for a running back in NFL history. Over in the NBA's offseason, the Phoenix Suns and veteran forward, the Canadian Dylan Brooks, $73 million 3-year extension. That keeps him in the desert through 2030. Toronto Blue Jays yesterday take the rubber match over the Astros from Houston 5-4 in an extra inning. Ernie Clement, 2-run shot in the 10th to win it for Toronto. And across the rest of the majors, the Cubbies finish off the sweep of the Dodgers. PCA with 2 homers, 7-6 the final from Wrigley. The Rays blank the Rockies 4-0. Yankees fall to the Cards 3-1. Red Sox over the White Sox 4-0. And the Mariners double up on the Tigers 4-2. End of the season for the Edmonton Riverhawks as they fall last night to Bellingham 6-2 south of the border. Riverhawks complete the season just shy of a playoff berth. And finally, Helen Gretzky Cup action. Preliminary round wrapped up yesterday from downtown Edmonton. Canada finishes off a perfect 3-0 in the group stage, 7-4 win over Sweden. Elsewhere, Slovakia over Switzerland 6-2. Finland topping the Czechs 5-4, and Germany falling to the United States 8-1. Coming up in hour 3 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Paul Sir from Hoop City, as well as NHL.com's Derek Van Diest. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
At GS Construction, we won't quit until we find a way to get the job done. And the right person makes all the difference. We're looking for our next superintendent, an experienced leader ready to take on the role. Because while GS Construction is building the water, sewage, and drainage systems Edmonton communities rely on, the superintendent is building up the team. If you know how to keep a job site safe, productive, and moving, we want to hear from you. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
What's 426 divided by 12? Okay, if I carry the one, yeah, we're out. Go Auto has a free credit calculator that does the math for you. See what you could qualify for, estimate your payments, and get a better idea of what's in your budget. Because shopping for a vehicle is exciting, but crunching numbers, yeah, not so much. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all sevens.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Hour number 3. Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. It is the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365, where Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Lots of texts have come in about like arenas, stadiums, events that people want to go see. Bucket list items, if you will. Text those in 1-833-401-1440. Try to get to as many as possible. El Nate had Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. It is beautiful. They went $250 million over budget, and you can notice it. You could have a Corvette hanging sideways on the wall, for crying out loud. I remember Rogers Place had just opened up, and somebody on Instagram, I posted pictures of Little Caesars Arena, and it said, okay, and Tom got in trouble. Hey, they took out the terrazzo flooring at Rogers. There's supposed to be terrazzo flooring. They value engineered it. It's still beautiful, functional, wonderful facility. Little Caesars a little bit nicer. Let's welcome in Paul Sir from Hoop City and ask him his favorite, maybe bucket list arena or stadium that he would love to go to or has experienced. Paul, good morning. Good to hear from you and see you. But it's kind of a theme that's popped up. Like, what's the best stadium you've ever gone to see a game or a sporting event, or one that you'd like to go to?
Well, I missed the mark, and it is one of my great regrets in life, really, in not going to the old Boston Garden and seeing either the John Havlicek or the Larry Bird Celtics. That was a miss, a big whiff. And honestly, nothing else has ever really compared to it. I think, though, if I really wanted to see an arena and experience something that I think is maybe the most unique arena in all of professional sports, it would probably be Fenway in Boston with the Red Sox with the Green Monster. You just can't make that up. It absolutely has never made any sense, and it is just an icon and absolutely wonderful. So that would probably be my choice. And there's no relationship between the Boston locations, to be honest, because I'm not particularly a Red Sox fan, but I just think it's such an iconic place.
Yeah, that's funny because it came up in our last segment. We were talking about Wrigley and Fenway and the history and nostalgia that go with them, and like chalky came up as a term to describe them. We're debating because it has like some negative connotation depending on how you look at it. I'm like, those facilities and places are beyond the term chalk just because of how significant they are and the history that's in there. And I think that they stand alone and the prestige that exists with them. So I've had the good fortune of going to Fenway. I've heard a million things about the old Boston Garden. I heard that in the locker room, the visiting locker room, Paul, that there was a trainer's table and it had like a wood base. And one time, I can't remember which team's medical trainer accidentally like kicked off a panel off the base, and a bunch of cockroaches fell out of it. That's how gnarly it was.
Well, that and Auerbach's
Celtics used to turn the heat up in the opponent's locker room to make it into even more of a sweat box than it actually was. So if you can imagine Boston Garden in the summer with the humidity and the heat, and then having the heat turned up in the locker room on the Lakers, there's some great folklore that goes around it. Two other iconic places I would mention.
Okay.
Yankee Stadium, present day Yankee Stadium. We went to actually a Red Sox Yankees first game of the playoffs last year.
Damn.
And Yankee Stadium is kind of like a Catholic going to the Vatican. It's a big deal. And then the other one is the arena at the University of Kansas that we went to. Again, Catholic to the Vatican. James Naismith, the inventor of the game of basketball, coached at Kansas. The atmosphere, the feeling, the museum, unbelievable. So very, very much iconic experiences, and grateful for the ones we've had, regret the ones I missed.
Hey, I think all of us have that same kind of sentiment in regard to destinations, especially in the sporting world. Okay, let's shift gears here, Paul, because we got to talk about the Stingers and some sad news off the top. Jamie Burns, owner of the team, passing away. And I know since their inception and with your son being involved with the Stingers as well, like you're all over this team. So maybe a thought there as a sad day in the local sporting landscape.
Jamie Burns was in many respects, and you would never really think this when you met Jamie, he really, in a lot of ways, was a bigger than life person. His involvement with bringing the Raptors to Toronto, being involved at the board of director level with Canada Basketball, and then really along with Tank Vander, being one of the first private owners that purchased a franchise in the CEBL, and believing in Edmonton enough to do that and to give that gift to our city. Jamie walked the walk. I've said that many, many times about him. He walked the walk. He put his money where his mouth is. And he stuck by Edmonton. And, you know, as you know, Tom, minor league sports, you don't necessarily get into minor league sport. And I would put the CEBL in that, and it's not an unflattering comment. I think it's an accurate comment.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't get in that to make money. If you make money, you're lucky. You're one of the few. You get in it for business reasons, for probably franchise valuation, you know, counting on it going up.
Yep.
But the people I know that have owned minor league franchises in a variety of sports, very few of them have operated in the black. Most have operated in the red. And it's a big challenge for the Stingers too, because their revenue sources are limited. Jamie stuck with it. Jamie brought it to us. And Jamie got involved. He was actually, and I forget the exact title, but he was the president of the leadership committee for the CEBL this year. Really a tragedy. It came out of nowhere. Everybody I've talked to had no idea if Jamie was sick, and we still don't know what the circumstances were. But it's a huge loss for his family, of course. Our hearts go out to them. But it's a huge loss for Edmonton and our sports community as well. A true leader has passed.
Very, very sad. And I'm glad we touched on that, Paul, and very well said. Again, like you've been around that team and you understand the guts of it. And I'm with you. Yeah, minor league sports in general, it's hard to turn a buck unless you're one of these major franchises in one of the major sports leagues. So to have the strength and vision and the money to back it up, put your money where your mouth is huge. So a sad day indeed. A couple days ago, the passing of Jamie Burns, co-owner of the Edmonton Stingers. Okay, on the court, we've got playoff game day today. The Stingers taking on Vancouver. I know that the record isn't great for the Stingers this year, and we talked a few weeks ago about the potential to get things on track. They had a bit of a winning streak a few weeks ago going. What's it going to take for the Stingers to pull off a victory in Vancouver here?
One of the things about the CEBL this year, Tom, is I don't see any team, particularly in the West, but I say that in the East as well. Scarborough, and maybe we'll touch on the controversy over the brawl with Brampton, but and how that's changed the playoff outlook. But really, there hasn't been a dominant team. Vancouver, I think, once Mitch Creek, the great Australian player, did not complete the season with Vancouver, with the departure of Kyle Julius, the longtime GM and coach, mid-season from Vancouver, I look at the Vancouver Bandit team as, they can be beat. This is not a dominant team. They had the best record in the West, but it wasn't a stellar record, and they won a lot of close games. The key for the Stingers, and this is a bit unflattering, but I truly mean this, they have to wake up. They have played listlessly far too many nights, and in far too many stretches during games, they play in a very flat way, and then they seem to wake up most of the time too late. They've had a real bad streak going into the playoffs. Having said that, they have talent. They have good players. They have, I think, enough talent to beat Vancouver in a 3-game series if they wake up. So it'll all be decided on the court. If Coach Baker and his staff can get this team hitting on all cylinders or hitting on some of the cylinders, that would be the key to tonight's game. And the CEBL going to this best of 3 opening series format really gives the Stingers an opportunity. So fingers crossed. It would be great to see the Stingers end the season on a high note after having a pretty flat season on the court.
Yeah. It's interesting, but an opportunity presents itself. You can catch the game tonight, 8 p.m. tip-off. TSN, TSN Plus, CBC Jam, CBCSports.ca, YouTube, CEBL Plus. Plenty of platforms to catch the game tonight, 8 p.m., the Western Conference semifinals. All right, Paul, let's talk about this brawl. You piqued my interest. What the hell happened here?
I'm not sure what the circumstances were, but towards the end of the first half, in the most recent game between Scarborough and Brampton, an all-out brawl broke out. And I think there have been some cracks in the CEBL this year that are a bit concerning. I might attribute it from the outside looking in without a lot of direct information to the departure of Mike Moriali and a number of the front office people, and bringing in a whole new group. And again, I use the term flat and lackluster for the performance of the Stingers. I would use the same descriptor of the CEBL this year. They really didn't get their legs this year as a league. And I get the feeling like they've lost some control over the mandate and the focus that the league's had. And I think that bears itself out in a brawl like this. It just seems like there's a looseness about the league and a taking for granted of what a professional league has to look like, resulting in a fight that now has key players on both teams, but mostly on Scarborough, who won't be playing in the first game. So that opens the door for an upset for the team that's 20-4. So very unfortunate. Another incident just happened in Winnipeg, where Teddy Allen, who's one of their best players, Xavier Moon, hasn't played much of the season. And of course, we're all familiar with Xavier here. But Teddy Allen got in an altercation in a bar, and it will be missing the first round of the playoffs for Winnipeg. Jeez. And so, I mean, you know this from pro sports. When you start having stuff like this happen more than once, Tom, there's something systemic here. There's something missing in terms of focus. And that could be at the local organization level. It could also be at the league organization. But to the CEBL's credit, they reacted quickly. They handed out suspensions. They were fairly tough and straightforward, unlike the NBA with Kawhi Leonard. And now we've got this scenario entering into the narrative as the CEBL goes into the playoffs.
Yeah, that timing's not good, but that could be a slippery slope. Is it just growing pains, Paul, in your opinion?
I hope so. I hope that's what it is. I hope it's growing pains, but it's one of those things that, like, how can you have to grow with that? How can you have to grow with a brawl? Is that just an outcome of competitiveness, or is that, again, a lack of, is it a lack of something else?
Could be. That's fair. Totally fair. Paul Sir from Hoop City joining us right now, talking a little basketball. I know you wanted to hit on the WNBA and what was going on there. Some chaos, I believe, is a term you used. And listen, I'm seeing Sophie Cunningham all over the place on social media and pointing her finger and all that becoming a meme. But what else are you noticing in the WNBA that you wanted to hit on?
Well, I think the thing that concerns a lot of people in the basketball world is and I'll use the term, this is my term, it's eroding into a social platform as opposed to a sports platform. And social issues are taking control of the narrative. Most people who have followed sports in general know of the controversy over the treatment of Caitlin Clark, both at the league level, but also on the court level with physical play, that's well documented and easy to watch on social media as well. But it's evolved into Sophie Cunningham. And I mean, like, Sophie Cunningham has become a bit of a Dave Semenko enforcer figure defending Caitlin Clark against the opponents. But now recently has gotten into, social issues, in particular the trans participation issue. And that has taken over the narrative. And man, oh man, I don't think, Tom, that's where you want your basketball league to go. Because whether or not you agree with the position being taken by both sides, isn't that a distraction from what you hope will be the reason why people attend and watch games? Because that can't be good over time, because if you're involved in a political posturing, you're going to lose a percentage of your viewers if they disagree with your position. So why not focus on what's going on the court? Because you've got stories, not just Caitlin Clark, who now that she's healthy is playing really well, Asia Wilson, Olivia Miles from the Minnesota Lynx. My God, she might be the best player in the league now as a rookie. There are some marvelous basketball stories that transcend what's going on in society right now. And I think the WNBA really has allowed itself to get sucked into this whirlpool of social commentary that they don't need to be in.
Could be growing pains on that side too, Paul, with a lot more eyes on there. I'm outside observation, but yeah, you're right. You want the focus to be on the talent on the court and the play, especially if it's starting to become elevated and getting better. And Caitlin Clark being at the tip of that spear for sure. Paul, this has been great. We're running out of time. We got to get to Derek Van Diest right away here. Where are you right now? Are you out of town or are you in town?
I'm in town, sitting in my car, going to go meet a friend for coffee. So I just wanted to, I'm just very grateful always, Tom, when I have a chance to talk with you and talk about hoops.
Hey, I'm grateful as well. It's always awesome to catch up with you. We'll do this again soon, my friend.
Look forward to it, Tom. All the best.
There's Paul Sir, the one and only for Hoop City. Good stuff. Nice tribute to Jamie Burns, co-owner of the Edmonton Stingers, who passed away, unfortunately. And talking about the stuff going on off the court, CEBL, altercations, battle on the court as well. And then maybe the Stingers, at the end of the day, they have a game to play tonight. We'll see how they do against Vancouver as they look to extend their season. Okay, when we come back, we'll do a little hockey talk. We'll catch up with Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. This is the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Why tee off at the Ranch Golf and Country Club?
A fun, unique layout offering premier conditions.
The ranch has been ranked as one of the top public courses in Canada.
Unmatched value. Score Golf Magazine rated the ranch as the best value in Edmonton.
The service, from tournaments to special events to the pro shop. Superior service that makes every visit exceptional.
The Ranch Golf and Country Club, a laid-back environment where anyone can enjoy an amazing day on the fairways. For details, visit theranchgolf.com.
Come on down to the Brick. The Price is Right live event is on now. Enter in-store for your chance to instantly win from over $1 million in prizes. No purchase necessary. Then shop incredible savings throughout the store, like up to $2,220 off select sectionals, up to 40% off select mattresses, up to 20% off select major appliances, and up to $600 off big screen TVs. Plus, finance with 0% interest and equal monthly payments on qualifying purchases. Hurry in before these offers end August 12th. The Brick, saving you more.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters.
It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City. Nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly. 18 years or older. Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
Thinking about switching vehicles? Think Subaru. The Subaru Crosstrek was named the 2026 Auto Trader Best Subcompact SUV. And once you drive it, you'll understand why. With impressive fuel efficiency, legendary Subaru symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, and generous ground clearance, the Crosstrek is ready for your Monday commute and your Saturday adventure. This month, take advantage of loyalty rates as low as 0.49%. So, before you decide your next SUV, come experience the Crosstrek for yourself. Visit your local Subaru dealership today. Welcome to Uncommon.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$9:26. We continue on here on the Tom Gazzola Show on Sports 1440. Of course, presented to you by Bet365. Join the conversation. As always, text us 1-833-401-1440. Lots of destination ballparks, football stadiums, arenas that people have texted in. We'll get to some of those. But first, we welcome in Derek Van Diest from NHL.com, who have had the good fortune of traveling a lot with, going to different sporting events with, and a guy who's experienced a lot of cool sporting events and covered them, as well as gone as a fan. DVD, good morning. Welcome to my new show, our show here on Sports 1440. The first time we're doing this together on this station. And you and I have gone to some cool spots in the sporting world, and you've gone on and done some other cool things and experiences, a couple of World Cups. What is your favorite stadium or arena that you've ever gone to a sporting event at? And what's another one that might be on your bucket list that you haven't gone to yet?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably, I would say to this day, to me, the World Cup in 2014, when I went to the Maracanã Stadium in Brazil, one of the most famous soccer stadiums in the world. And I saw Chile beat Spain 2-0 in the World Cup there. I think to me that experience and that whole day and just watching the game, then going and celebrating on the Copacabana beach, and it almost seems surreal, 16 years ago. But I think that was one of my, obviously top experiences. And to be honest, the one thing I haven't seen is the Cowboys play in their new stadium yet. I saw them play in their old stadium, saw them play in Seattle. I've not been to Jerry Jones World yet. So that's something, hopefully one day I'll be able to go and watch the Cowboys play in the new Texas Stadium. Well, I guess it's not new anymore. It's been around for a while now, but
Yeah.
I have not seen him play there. So that'd be cool. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things. I remember once I was in Paris and then was trying to get to the French Open. I wanted to do that. I wasn't able to get tickets to Roland Garros. But there's so many cool things. But I think that's got to be one of them. And obviously, I was at the World Cup final in Qatar in 2022. And in Doha there, and that was an unbelievable experience, and still hard to believe that I was there. So yeah, there's been some cool things that I've done, and some cool ballparks that we've been to. So yeah, it's been fortunate that way.
Yeah, it's really neat to hear people's differing perspectives on like where they would like to go see a sporting event and why. And I always find that very, very fascinating. Okay, you were at Rogers Place yesterday, checking out the Hlinka Gretzky. What do you make of what you saw yesterday? I think you were watching. You didn't go to the Canada-Sweden game. You went to the USA game, right?
Well, I did both. They were both kind of playing at the same time. Canada, Sweden started at 5. So I was running a little late, caught the last 2 periods of that game. When I got there, Canada was up 5-0, and they managed to hold on to that win. And then I saw the first 2 periods of the USA-Germany game. That game was 8-1 by the United States. Those are the 2 best teams in the tournament by far. Canada and the United States. They look like they're gonna meet again for the gold medal here on Saturday. They get the semifinals on Friday tomorrow. But it's been good. There's been some really talented players playing there. The place is loaded with scouts. These are all kids that are going to be draft eligible in June, and they're going to go back to their teams. And some are going to college, but they're still kind of young. They're all 17. So some are going to college, some are going back to junior. But yeah, there's a handful of kids that you're going to keep your eye on, and Landon DuPont, of course, everyone's saying that he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, and this guy is something special. If you get a chance to come watch him, just watch how the little subtlety things he does. He's going to be a top end defenseman. He's going to be a Cale Makar type. He's going to be a guy that can drive the play, very offensive, very smart with the puck, very good defensively. So yeah, I think a lot of scouts are drooling over him right now, and this is my first chance to get to see him play live. And yeah, he's been very impressive to me. Just watching all the little subtle things he does for Canada. So it'll be interesting to see going forward how he does this year. He's going to the University of Michigan. That team is stacked. Yeah, I was looking at their roster. I think they had 17 draft picks on that team, 5 first-rounders. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, and I know they're excited about getting him. He's going to be a freshman, 17-year-old freshman. He'll probably get drafted. He'll probably end up in the NHL next season. So we'll see what happens. But he's a very, very talented player.
It's kind of interesting to see how the NCAA is changing. Obviously, we talk about the CHL as well with the shift in the eligibility change a year ago. And now, basically, if you're a good, well-funded hockey program in the U.S., you can buy a superstar team, essentially, right? Like that's essentially, you can build a super team the way Michigan is. Penn State going after McKenna. Do you think that kind of, I don't know how to describe it, unfair, I suppose, in a way, but at the same time, if they have the means, who's stopping them, right?
Yeah, it's become big business. It's kind of like college hockey is kind of becoming like college football. It's big business. You make a lot of money. Like, colleges are supposed to be nonprofit, but we all know the money that they make. They all know the money that these coaches are making. The players are starting to see some of that now. So it's tough. It's become big business. And I think that's the situation with hockey right now, is that these big programs, and you have a handful of big programs, you're going to see the same teams in the Final Four almost every year now. They go in there and they have these loaded. They have so much money to be able to kind of bring in players and attract players, and you're bringing these high-end draft picks. They're going to be there for 1-2 years at the most, and then leave your program. So you're not really building around them. They're hired guns that come in here, try to win you a championship, and then they're gone. So I think that's the situation here, and it's tough for the CHL teams to compete. And I think teams in the CHL, they're going to have to be younger now. They're going to have to get a little younger, but also the pipeline moves both ways. And it'll be interesting to see if eventually some players at the NCAA level say, you know what, this isn't for me. It's not working for me. I want to play more of a pro schedule. I don't want to play just on the weekends. and work out all week and play 36 games. I want to play 68 games. I want to do the travel. I want to do all that stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see the movement between players back and forth as this is uncharted territory, of course. Now this kind of ripples between not just major junior hockey, but the junior A and junior Bs. They're all kind of scrambling because you don't want to lose your top guys at 18 to go to college. So it's kind of uncharted waters here. They've opened up, I know in the Western Hockey League and the Canadian Hockey League, they've opened up another spot for European players to come over. The Oil Kings have a couple of good Czech players that are playing in this tournament that have looked good so far. So you just kind of have to adjust and grow and make things more appealing to younger players to come play in your program. But it's tough to compete with the Michigans and Michigan States and the Penn States and the Colorados of the world because they just have unlimited funds. It's just so much money that they're making right now from those programs, and it's tough. And if you want to go there and experience it for a couple of years, the top guys are doing that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with DuPont. I'm sure he's going to have a good season there. He's a really, really good player, but he's going to be a young player. He's going to be 17, 18 playing against 22, 23, 24-year-olds. So I think that was an appeal as well, that he's going to get a chance to play against a lot of older players, bigger, stronger guys, and see how he compares against them.
Derek Van Diest from NHL.com joining us. The Red Wings, it was discovered, or it's been put out there, are using an outside firm to find their next GM to take over for Steve Yzerman. And in the interim, Sean Horkoff is handling the day-to-day, but, he can't make trades and all that. You and I have discussed Sean Horkoff at times over the last couple of years as a potential GM in the NHL because he's kind of in that stable of one of the next guys to become a GM. Why not just let Sean Horkoff be the GM of the Red Wings, DVD? Because you know him, you talk to him. What do you think of this situation?
Yeah, I thought Sean Horkoff was going to be a general manager of a National Hockey League team basically the day I met him. This is probably one of the smartest hockey players I've ever dealt with. And say what you want about Sean Horkoff. He got a big contract here in Edmonton. I think that kind of vilified him a little bit. It's not his fault that people wanted to pay him what they wanted to pay him. To me, Sean Horkoff is an incredibly intelligent person, incredibly intelligent hockey guy. And I agree. And I think it might be up to Sean Horkoff whether he's ready to take that role or not, because he's such a smart guy that if he's not ready, if he thinks that, I may need a bit more seasoning, I may need to kind of stay in my assistant general manager role for a little longer before I take the top job, he would do that. He's not going to jump at the first opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see, because I think this outside firm is going to go and try and find guys. I don't think they're going to find a lot of guys better than Sean Horkoff, because I think he's a smart guy. He's well connected. He knows the game really well. He knows players really well. And like I said, we've been saying this. I've been saying this to anyone to listen. Sean Horkoff is going to be a general manager in the National Hockey League. And Steve Staios is obviously a general manager in the National Hockey League. Those two guys are two of the smartest guys that I've dealt with as players. And now I get to deal with Steve Staios as a general manager. And I've talked to Sean Horkoff a lot, in his role. But I think it really will be up to him because, right now he's got a son. I think his son is up for the draft. Yep. So I think maybe he might want to wait until something pans out there, because the general manager, where you got to dive in, it's a big role. It's a big job. I think it'll be basically when Sean Horkoff is ready to be a GM, people should be lining up to hire him. I think that's how good of a GM I think he's going to be. And so I think Detroit has him. And I think they're going to look around and they're going to say, you know what? The best guy for the job is here. Do you want it? And I really do think it's going to be up to Sean Horkoff whether he wants that job. And they should hire him. He's the smartest guy in the room. He doesn't act like the smartest guy in the room. He's still going to want to get smart people around him, good people around him. I'm a big Sean Horkoff fan when it comes to being a general manager. And if I had a team, he'd be number one on my list to run that hockey team. So I think if Detroit doesn't find anyone better, which it would be hard to do, then he should be the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, I've had a few people ask me if Keith Gretzky is somebody that the Red Wings have reached out to, and as of last week, apparently not. But But yeah, that's interesting. And I'm with you. I think Horkoff's probably one of those guys that's ready to be the next man up, but we'll see how this all plays out. What do you think of like just going to an outside firm though? Like it seems like when the Elks went to Wally Buono only to hire Chris Jones, like there was like
Yeah.
3 options, It's like, what are you doing? Who's burning
Maybe
money?
they just look at it from a different perspective. Sometimes you got to step outside. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. So maybe they just want a different perspective. They want to see if they come up with a different name that maybe they had, and then they compare the lists and see what happens. Yeah, that thing with Wani Buono, they just gave him money and said, "Yeah, hire this guy." Like it was what really? Like how
Yeah.
much work did you do there? So, but I think they're trying to cover all their bases. They're trying to make it all work out. And they got to deal with that Dylan Larkin situation. Like they still haven't dealt with it. He wants out. He wants change. He's been promised things for a long, long time. And Larkin's been frustrated in Detroit because they basically told him, we're going to be a contending team. We're going to do everything we can to contend. And for the last 3 seasons, Detroit has done nothing at the deadline. And he's come out and been vocal about it. He said, hey, we're not doing anything here. Like we're in a playoff battle or a playoff chase if we don't get any help at the deadline. So I think he's getting frustrated. I think he was frustrated with Steve Yzerman. So I think Detroit is trying to kind of appease him a little bit. He's their star player. They don't want him to leave. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I just think it's another way to kind of approach things and look at it from another set of eyes. So we'll see how that goes. But I think eventually they both have a list, and the more names on each list, I think those you're going to whittle down your candidates.
DVD, great stuff as always, my friend. Want to get a beer later?
Sure. I'm going golfing today, so yeah, it'll be fun.
Hey, when you're done golfing, we'll meet up at our usual spot.
Sounds good.
All right, Derek
Thanks for having
Van
me on. I
Diest.
appreciate it. Congrats on your show.
Okay, get out of here. I'm just kidding. Thank you, DVD. Clearly, we're good friends and have been for a long time. And there's Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. Appreciate him hopping on. He's always got the scoop and great reporter and journalist. Has been for many, many years. All right, we got to step out for a quick breather. We're going to play In or Out with Brando right after this on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$9:45. Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Tom, Brandon Douglas, Donovan Paulson with you in studio here. Hope you're having a nice Thursday morning. Hopefully it's going to be a great day. And we're getting so close to the weekend. So close. It's Friday Junior, boys. It's Friday Junior. And time now to play In or Out with Brandon, brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Edmonton. Their annual garage sale and swap meet is Saturday, August 15th. Catch the Twin West Crew stunt team performing 2 great shows and score huge deals on parts, gear, and clothing. Find more at hdedmonton.com.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
We continue our meandering through the NHL offseason with a final stop in the Pacific Division for our off-season Mount Rushmore series, and that is the Anaheim Ducks. Pretty straightforward one, I think, this time around, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Solani, Correa, Getzlaf, and Perry.
Straight up in. Like, outside of J.S. Giguère.
Legend.
Right? Won the Conn Smythe in 2003 despite them losing to New Jersey. I think those other guys are above what Giguère did in Anaheim Ducks history.
Yeah, it like Giguère was there for the Cup. So were the other 3 guys. Correa was not. Correa was there for the 2003 finals appearance.
Yeah.
So was Giguère, obviously the Conn Smythe. The other 3 were not.
Yeah.
So there is some merit to it as an inclusion, but when you talk about longevity, you think about being synonymous with the franchise. Like Correa has actually the shortest tenure of any of the 3 guys,
which is crazy.
It is crazy, but he obviously gave the franchise legitimacy, relevance when they were born out of the Disney company, excuse me. And then like him and Solani were arguably the best tandem teammates in the entire league at different stretches of their run together. And then Solani's return to the team, they win the Stanley Cup, and then they eventually kind of get passed on all the statistical charts, at least inside the organization, by the likes of Ryan Getzlaf for sure, and then Perry just a little bit behind, obviously, but Perry has an MVP, Rocket Richard Trophy. Of all of our Pacific Division teams that we're wrapping up with here, I actually think this is the least debatable.
Yeah. You could do honorable mention for like Scott Niedermayer, but he's a devil.
It was just such like his impact was huge,
yeah,
but in a very short period of time, right?
Great
point. And the like when he came over in free agency after the right before the rebrand, I should say, like that's another staple of essentially giving, like I said, legitimacy to the team. And they went from being a good team or a spunky team in 2003, then the down year, he comes, they're good, they lose to the Oilers. They get Pronger. They become Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah.
So Scott Niedermayer is my favorite hockey player of all time. So leaving him off the list is tough for me. But I just think his tenure in the organization was so short that it's kind of tough to tough to include him there.
No, and that's fair. Like, you're not going to add Steve Ruchin into this. You're not going to put
what a guy
Guy Hebert on there or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward.
Like the
yeah,
and I mean this in complete sincerity. I think someone like Cam Fowler would actually have the next best claim after Giguère.
And what does that say about the organization?
Well, it means that they have had some good players, but
not a lot of them.
Not a lot of them.
Yeah.
Now, the good players they've had have been excellent.
Yep. Well said.
Because like Cam Fowler's a second on the team or franchise history in games played, high scoring defenseman, and that's 5th on the franchise's all like total list. So he was there a long time through some down years, through some good years, and then some down years again before obviously moving on to St. Louis. So it's a pretty straightforward one, I think. Not sure if there's much debate to be had.
No.
Outside of, I think Giguère is the only real tight 5th option here.
No, fair. Very, very fair.
Over to the NFL where preseason action, Tommy. We're here. It kicks off with the Hall of Fame game tonight from Canton, Ohio. Woo. It's Arizona. It's Carolina. Carson Beck, starting quarterback for your Arizona Cardinals. I do not believe he is this team's solution at quarterback, but I do think he will start at least 5 regular season games for this team this season.
I think this is realistic. I feel like despite him maybe not being a premier quarterback prospect, but one that there's obviously some curiosity for and optimism, especially with the Bird Gang, #Bird Gang. I'm one of them.
How many Bird Gangs are there out there?
I don't know. There are a lot of bird.
There's a lot of bird
teams out there, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah. It's a bit much, really, if you think about it.
Baseball in particular, lots of birds.
Lots of birds. Lots of them. Anyway, I'm in on this, Brando, because, Jacoby Brissett is a functional quarterback, but I don't think he's a guy that's really scaring a lot of opposition teams. He had a good run last season, took over for Kyler Murray. I think they were done with Kyler Murray by that point anyway. I think they'll try to ease Beck in, see what they've got with this guy. So I could see him getting 5 starts and then, Brissett, whatever else. This is a bad team. Belzy sent me a video montage of some of the highlights, or you could say lowlights from Cardinals camp thus far. And it was just very sad to watch. It was about 1 minute and 15 seconds of them being crappy in training camp. This team might win 3 games.
I believe the current win total is set at 3.5. So to tiptoe around that wherever you see fit. And so they also have Gardner Minshew in the room too, right? Now,
whatever.
I think Jacoby Brissett is very, as you said, capable.
Yeah.
And I chatted with Howard Balzer last week while you were away, who covers the Cards down there. He's also a Hall of Fame voter, so it was kind of nice getting 2 birds stoned at once with him as a guest.
Done. Excellent reference.
But like Jacoby Brissett might actually be too good for what the Card, because like, is he good enough to keep you in games that you might win more than you want to and not get the first overall pick? Where
good point.
You would hope you want to select your next franchise quarterback. So I find it kind of puts them in a spot similar to where Cleveland was last year, where you've got this guy that you took a flyer on essentially. Now Carson Beck, where they drafted him, is a little bit more than a flyer.
Yeah.
But the point remains, Brissett will start the first handful of games or so, maybe even more. But at a certain point, when this team has just 2 or 3 wins on their ledger and we're into the second half of the season or later, you kind of say, all right, well, we used this draft pick on Carson Beck. We need to at least see what he is before we go and select first overall in this next draft or second overall. We expect it to be a deep QB draft this upcoming one. They need to see what they have. And if they want to roll with him or
move on.
And you need more than a game or 2 to determine that, in my opinion. And with Mike LaFleur as the new head coach, he's an offensive guy. I think that he'll be curious to see what he can do with the college veteran, national champion Carson Beck.
Yeah, they're my team and they suck. I'll be watching this game tonight.
You will?
And absolutely.
Just to evaluate Carson Beck?
No, just to remember the good times with Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay, that's
pretty much it.
That's a little more validated.
Yeah, thank you. I miss Larry. Can he play now?
Get him back out
Please, there. Larry, come back.
On our side of the border, Week 10 of the CFL kicking off out in Toronto. The Argos hosting the Stampeders. These are 2 teams that are offensively inclined and maybe a little defensively deficient. Calgary currently 1.5-point favorites. Both clubs need this win, right? They're talking about records of 4-4 for the Stamps and 3-4 for the Argos, which is good for 3rd and 2nd in their respective divisions. The point total in this game, Connor, 67.5.
Woo.
That is a big number. I'm betting the over on this. It seems extremely high. It seems like a free one, but man, both these clubs give up over 30 points a game so far this season. The Stamps 35 points a game. I like the Stamps in this. I've kind of been on it for a couple weeks. They're my sort of sleeping giant, however you want to phrase it, in the CFL right now. I think they're better than their record actually shows, and I think it's just going to be a shootout in our hands tonight from downtown Toronto.
First of all, did you call me Connor?
Did I?
Because I know Connor just walked in.
That might have been a slip, I guess, by accident. If so, sorry. This is yesterday. Our guest out of Houston was calling Connor Colin.
Oh,
like Connor Halley Colin.
That happens.
And last week, my Broncos guest, he kept calling me Tom.
Nice.
So it's just it's just a name game around here, especially with so many people in different chairs with the vacation days.
I'm just chastising.
No, that's good. I appreciate you checking me on.
I got you. No, it's all good. Hello, good morning, Connor, who just walked into the studio.
Connor the Younger.
Yes, Connor the Younger. I'm in with the shootout. Give me the over 67.5. The Stamps 1.5 point favorites. Lots of offense. I'm wondering though how Chad Kelly holds up. He's coming off a neck injury. Obviously, Vernon Adams Jr. is just pumping on all cylinders. He's off to a classic VA start. Let's just see if he can continue this through the middle section of the season and into the late part of the season after Labor Day. But for tonight, the Argos home opener, oddly enough, give me the over. I'm in on this as well. And I would take the Stamps to win it, especially with those odds. I might even sprinkle.
You got a score prediction?
Like 42-37.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
These teams, they're all offense. Both of these teams. The Argos defense struggles. Calgary's defense have been ball hawks though lately. But if Kelly's on and he's healthy, I think he can overcome what has been a pretty decent Stamps defense at times.
Toronto Blue Jays continue their road trip with a little pit stop at Wrigley Field this afternoon for a one-gamer makeup affair against the Cubs before they head on to Philly to take on the Phillies. However, and to some people's disappointment, mine included, Kevin Gausman will not be making his Cubs debut in this game. That was the original expectation when he was acquired just a handful of days ago. Kevin Gausman, his legacy with the Blue Jays, it's been mightily talked about here over the past week and even weeks. I think he's the team's most important pitcher since the departure of Roy Halladay.
Wow. And that's been a while. What Halladay left in 2009?
08 or 09, somewhere in there.
2008, 2009. Who have been notable pitchers for the Jays in that time? R.A. Dickey briefly, David Price briefly. Who else was in that rotation when they started going to the playoffs?
Estrada. Sanchez, Stroman.
Sanchez flamed out.
Those are the playoff guys. Obviously, a couple prominent closers that are no longer with the team for a variety of reasons.
But those guys were flashes in the pan, very brief, right? Gausman, how many years? 4?
4.5, essentially.
Right, and a World Series appearance, couple playoff appearances. I'm in on this one as well. Brando, I'm in on all 4 to start.
Wow, not a lot of disagreement today. I guess I didn't bring my fastball.
And the sentiment for Gausman from Jays fans and the appreciation, I think, says a lot as well. So I'm going to be in on this one. And listen, they've had some good, like Robbie Ray, didn't he have one good year with the Jays?
He won a Cy Young.
Yeah, he won a Cy Young.
Alek Manoah, Cy Young finalist.
Oh, and how didn't he just get released?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So, like all those other guys that we've mentioned, although good pitchers, it's been for very brief moments, like 1-2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is, Gausman 4.5, but Gausman coming to the Jays was a huge get for them. So I'll go in on this one.
So on the actual all-time list, Kevin Gausman is top 10 in games started, top 10 in strikeouts. His numbers over his time as a Jay, both when you're talking whip and ERA, are very impressive. He has a career WAR with the Jays, wins above replacement, of 13.
Jeez.
I think the number was, and obviously the playoff starts. His playoff record actually is a little bit of an indictment because even this last year he went 2-3 with the 5 starts. He made the one bullpen appearance too.
Yeah.
But you look at his actual numbers in those starts, I mean, he goes 0-2 in the World Series, but he gave his team a chance to win both times out. For me, he struck out 8 in one of those starts. So the numbers don't even tell the whole story for me around Kevin Gausman, because the durability, the reliability, you could essentially over 4.5 years, this year is kind of really the exception to it. Count on him to give you a chance to win every single time he took the hill.
Okay, who are the guys? Like Dave Stieb would be up there.
Oh yeah,
right?
like all the Jays,
Henkin,
all the Jays' best
Juan
all-time
Guzman,
pitchers are from yesteryear.
Roy Halladay,
Jamie Key, Dave Stieb.
Yeah.
Obviously Roy Halladay. Looking at Pat Henkin, Todd Stottlemyre.
yeah.
Right, like these are all guys from 90s and maybe into the start of the turn of the century.
Ricky
but
Romero in there.
he's on a lot of in terms of longevity for sure, right? Because
Yeah.
he made 127 starts for the team.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
He had a longer window than most Jays pitchers.
There's one other name here, and it's funny because he kind of runs right in tandem alongside Gausman. It's Jose Barrios, who was also a pitcher. Like, this is the guy that this team has targeted, this type of player.
Yeah.
Dylan Cease is the same way. Dependable, reliable, maybe and then in single years, maybe have Cy Young type cases. We're seeing Cease this year.
Mm-hmm.
Gausman has flashed it. Barrios was excellent a couple times. Gold Glove winner as well.
Right.
On the bump, Barrios was. And this is just in terms of, start numbers, because Barrios is only a handful, or 2 handfuls, I should say, behind Gausman. And we know how this hasn't been the most fitting end to Barrios' time as a Blue Jay with the injury this year. But yeah, like it's just like Gausman's just been there and he's been great. It's a full stop. And the playoffs, I think, in all but one season this year, notwithstanding in his time as a starter. So he's a no doubter. And when you move past the glory years of the Jays in the 90s, I think he's like right there for one of the best to ever do it in the uniform. And to me, it's still Roy Halladay as the number one, probably after Dave Stieb, who kind of stands alone a little bit.
Robbie says, don't forget J.A. Happ.
Yeah.
He had
another kind of unheralded guy that just went about his business.
Yeah, that's
right.
true. He was intense.
He was awesome. I love J Happ, no doubt about it.
Good reminder.
Finally, maybe this is where we'll finally get a little disagreement this morning, Tommy. It is National Root Beer Float Day. And while the gentleman to my right-hand side once credited an orange float as the best dessert or top 3, top 5?
Explain yourself.
Donovan once said during an in or out segment when I wasn't here that an orange float was a top 5 dessert of all time.
That's weird.
Pretty tough look. But I think the best soda for a float, this is very unorthodox, unconventional, but we discovered it ourselves a couple summers ago for Float Fridays. Might have to bring it back tomorrow to round out the week. Baja Blast.
Is that Mountain Dew?
It's the specific brand of Mountain Dew over the vanilla ice cream. It is a 10 out of 10.
Really?
Banger, can't miss product.
Okay. Out. Go with the classic root beer. I love root beer. None of that stinking root beer. I love root beer. This is the one I'll be out on. I don't know Baja Blast. I've never experienced it.
Have you ever had the soda or just never had the float?
I've neither.
Tell you what,
try it.
I'm willing to try.
I'll collect the materials today, and we'll have some to round out the show tomorrow. Bring back Float Friday for an appearance.
Happily obliging on that one, but I just because I don't know, I'm out. So go ahead, explain yourself with this orange thing.
For me, orange and vanilla is just one of the all-time flavor combos.
It's good.
I love the orange and vanilla, like creamsicle style of flavor. So I don't know. I love a float on a hot day.
Yeah.
Like I love ice cream. I love orange pop. I've always just loved that flavor combo, and I've always loved the hot day element to it. Is that something you want during the winter? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
However, for me, it just hits different.
You don't tell me you like black licorice too.
No, I hate black.
You're like a 90-year-old woman. Like my Nona used to love black licorice.
Black licorice is maybe the worst thing on earth.
Yeah. Now Sambuca tastes great. A little bit different though.
It's a little different.
More
There's
fun.
different elements
Hello.
to that, but
okay.
No, black licorice stinks. But hey, I will always defend my my orange floats. Those are top tier.
Hey, you know what? I respect that. You do you, because I'm a guy that likes caramel, maple walnut, and butter pecan. So I too have the palate of an 80-year-old woman, as Jack Michaels likes to say.
So your top float though, Tommy, was
Just
the
straight up
beer?
root beer.
The root beer.
I don't do floats very often.
No, neither do I.
it's
I
not my
think that's
go-to.
what's nice about them is that
Yeah.
they're not something you have regularly, so they are a very nice treat. Like I have them
Every now and
even less often than you'd have a milkshake, right? Because if you're
Yeah.
just going through whatever fast food drive-through, you can get a milkshake at almost anywhere.
Absolutely.
But a float, you got to sit down, put it together, maybe at like an old school diner or at home, which is it's one of the few things that you can genuinely make at home, and it's no different than what you get at a restaurant.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm out. That's the only one I'm out on. Everything else I was in on. That was a good.
You might be changing your tune by this time, or well,
look forward to it.
in about 25 hours.
I look forward to it. I'm very excited for this Baja Blast float that we're having on Float Fridays tomorrow. Great edition of Interrupt brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. I see a bunch of people have texted in. Time now to get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That is All Star Construction. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 10 of the CFL kicking off tonight out in Toronto. The Argonauts hosting the Calgary Stampeders. Argos coming in with a 3-4 record. Calgary holding a 500, 4-4. NFL preseason game number 1 with the Hall of Fame affair from Canton, Ohio. Arizona Cardinals up against the Carolina Panthers. Kickoff coming at 6 o'clock. Some NHL offseason news, and surprising at that, as the Pittsburgh Penguins have re-signed RFA forward Billy Koivunen to an 8-year deal with a $4 million AAV. The 23-year-old Finnish native spent last year split between Pittsburgh and their AHL affiliate in Wilkes-Barre. Jonathan Taylor early on this morning signed an extension with the Colts. 2 years, $44 million, with 39 of it fully guaranteed. Third largest deal in NFL history for a running back. And in the majors today, lighter slate of games, the Blue Jays make a pit stop in Chicago, taking on the Cubbies from Wrigley. Dylan Cease takes the hill. First pitch coming 12:20 Mountain Time. CEBL playoff action getting underway across our country. The Stingers are in Vancouver to play the Bandits. Tip-off 8 o'clock. Coming up in hour 4 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Connor Halley from The Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Don't let rookies scratch your custom wheels. Evolve Wheels and Tires uses premium touchless equipment designed to protect your wheel and tire investment. Trust the enthusiasts at Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit av.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Hour on a Thursday of the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365 right here on Sports 1440. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus to play. Please play it responsibly. Keep those texts coming in. We will discuss like ballparks, football stadiums, arenas that you want to go to. We had a bunch of texts coming in regard to that. Destinations, if you will. Bucket list items. I wanted to bring up a couple of things. Wanted to send some love out to Kelly Rudy, Brando, and Donald.
Yeah.
Calling it a career on the broadcast side.
Well, he did say he posted a little video out on socials, kind of, announcing that Sportsnet's not renewing his contract.
Right.
But he did say this is not a retirement.
Oh, okay.
So I actually sent a little message to Kelly. We've had him on the show a number of times over the past few years. He like great NHL career, the longevity in the broadcasting thing, and he said it himself. He's not oblivious to it. He knows he's not for everyone. Some people like him, some people don't. That's what I think part of what makes him a good broadcaster. Hall of Fame person, like full stop.
Great human being.
He is as nice of a guy as you will come across. So awesome to communicate with when you're trying to book him on the show or getting his thoughts on something. He's just an unreal guy. So I dropped him a little line last night, just kind of on behalf of the morning show, of the station, things like that. Wishing him the best and congrats on a great run with Sportsnet and Hockey Night in Canada. Excited to see where he lands, see what he's going to do next, whatever he so chooses, and hopefully we can catch up with him at some point here down the line too.
I have nothing but respect and appreciation for Kelly Rudy. I've known him for a long time. Always gives you the time of day and is sincere about it. I remember him in 2014. The Oilers had played a Saturday night game, and the next day was the Heritage Classic in Vancouver. My buddy Tony had tickets to it, and his wife couldn't go. So he last minute is like, do you want to come to this game out in Vancouver? I'm like, I got to work the Oiler game, but I can hop on a flight and I can come to this game. I was in and out in a day and a half in Vancouver. And I was on the flight with the Hockey Night crew that had to also go to the Heritage Classic. And Kelly and I talked about things for like an hour at the airport. One of them was the Dallas Aikens era. And Dallas was the coach of the Oilers at the time. And we were very much on the same page in regard to what we thought of that coaching decision. But I remember him back then saying, Tom, I only have a couple of years left. He's like, I'm almost 60 and I want to enjoy my life. I want to golf. I want to do this. I want to travel, do that, spend time with my family. That was 12 years ago. he had a great run.
Just grinding.
He had a great run. And I know he was really well respected and well taken care of. And they treated him right at CBC and then obviously Rogers. So tip of the cap to Kelly Rudy. Edmonton product, played for CAC. Makes his home in Calgary now. And congratulations to him. And the others I wanted to give some love to on the show today. Joanne Ireland, longtime beat writer for the Oilers with the Edmonton Journal. Incredible human being, wonderful person. Greg Peterson and Dave Moyer, all inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Farhan posted it earlier. I'm glad to see Joanne getting some recognition. We haven't heard much from her since she wrote a book after her time ended at the Journal. But Joanne, especially when I was like very young and early in my career, 07, 08 was my first year covering the Oilers. I was still in college, and Joanne was so welcoming and very helpful and just very pleasant to be around, whether it was here in town or when we were traveling on the road. I don't think her name gets mentioned enough. So I'm so proud and happy for Joanne. So congratulations to Joanne Ireland. And Dave Moyer, who's a friend. I work with him on the CFL on TSN. Moisty's a beauty. Just a great guy and a stats guru extraordinaire, whether it's hockey or football or anything else. So congratulations to Joanne Ireland and Dave Moyer on their Canadian Football Hall of Fame inductions, and then Greg Peterson is part of that as well. Absolutely love it. Farhan with the tweet. I think I reposted it. I should repost it. There we go. So some love to some broadcasters with local ties there. Anything else, boys? Anything else?
There are some reports on the line that Jahmyr Gibbs and the Detroit Lions are closing in on a 3-year extension that will make him the NFL's highest paid.
Is it 30 plus?
That is unsure at the moment. Jordan Schultz is on it right now, NFL Insider at the Schultz Report. So the hope is to get a deal done as early as today, and Gibbs will then return to practice. That is the direct quote from his tweet.
Dollar bills, yo. Dollar bills, yo. Yeah. It's the amount of money that's being tossed around in baseball and football, even basketball now, guys. Incredible. And I know hockey's always lagging behind, but what did we see? Celebrini a week and a half ago signed for $18.5 million. And prior to that, it was Kaprizov who had reset the bar last year. Carlson. How long did Carlson have the mantle as the highest paid NHL player for? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks? So, you know.
It was a good run. But
hey,
he will still be the highest paid player this season.
Correct. Good
so
point.
he does actually get to hold that for a full year.
Yeah.
But you already know that in that time period you're not going to be. Which maybe he likes that. Maybe it's like, oh, good. Now people won't just be like, oh, look at Leo Carlson. He's not as good as those guys, and he's the highest paid player. Well, now he's only the second highest paid player.
Bench with a couple texts here says the money is nuts. I remember complaining about Horkoff making $6 million. Yeah, was Horkoff $6 million, or was he getting 7 point something?
Geez,
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember, and DVD brought it up earlier. It did draw the ire of some fans, and that was when I think 8 to 9 million. I think Crosby and Ovechkin were kind of in that range, and they were resetting the bar at the time. And that's almost 20 years ago now. That was coming out of the 06 Stanley Cup run. So it's been a while. And then Bench also added, I just love the bandana hanging out of the back of Kelly Rudy's mask. We would all rock one playing street hockey if we were in net. And Kelly, I found out, I read his book. I always thought it was a bandana, but it was really like one of those old baby blue and navy blue hockey underwear shirts.
Okay.
He just cut it and turned it into a bandana.
Okay.
And then he was also
repurposing.
He repurposed it. Yes. He was also a guy until I think 1995 when he finally switched over to the more modern mask. He wore a Jofa helmet with the ugliest birdcage mask.
Yeah.
Face mask that you could imagine.
But that's what you think of when you see him. Or like when you hear the name Kelly Rudy, you picture that really devastatingly bad helmet.
It was so ugly. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But the bandana, and I'm glad Bench brought that up because that was like a trademark. And he was, the nickname was Hollywood. Then when he finally got the more modern mask, when he had that more modern mask, it said Hollywood on it. It was really, really nice. And his pads, boys, like the gear he wore, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, DR for the longest time. I might be mistaken. I have to go back and look. But did you see how he crouched back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
The old stand-up style, and the pads were tiny. They were itty-bitty compared to what guys are wearing now. And I also remember I think it was his first year at Hockey Night. It was right after he retired from the Sharks. He played in a preseason game for the Flames, and they kind of did a behind-the-scenes thing with him. He was mic'd up and everything. It was really neat. Really, really neat. Anyway, so tip of the cap to Kelly Rudy. Looking forward to finding out what he's doing next. No longer with Rogers. And then Joanne Ireland, longtime Journal beat writer. She did Eskimos. She did Oilers Forever. And she obviously other sporting events that happen in and around our city. and Dave Moyer, stats guru extraordinaire, colleague and friends, being inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Well done to all of them. Mike from Kindersley says Horkoff was 7.1 AAV. So there we go. 6-year, 33 mil in 09. That's from Corey. A trip down memory lane, boys. Trip down memory lane. All right. We got to step out for a quick breather. When we come back, Connor Halley will be joining us from the Jason Greger Show and the Frenzy right here on Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the game live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Here's what you need to know about Lux Windows. We work hard. We come in early, we stay late, we go above and beyond, and then we go a little further. Not for awards or a pat on the back. We work hard so that choosing our windows and doors is an easy decision for you. It's the Alberta way. It's the Lux way. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
.1024, we continue on Thursday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Tom, Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Connor Spivak. Did I say it right? Yeah. And Donovan Paulson in studio. Full house. It's kind of nice, Connor.
2 Connors.
I know.
Well,
he called me Connor earlier.
Oh, really? Last week, he got
I'm
called
sorry.
Tom. I got called
Jason.
And I get called Colin. Interchangeable
He brought
names.
that up too. Brando brought that up.
I've never actually met another Connor. So there's been multiple instances where someone has said Connor, and Mackenzie will talk to him, or Declan, and I assume it's me. I've never met another Connor.
There's 14 million of you.
I know.
You should be going by your real name.
I know. I should be.
You and I are
now
kindred spirits.
I often wonder, would I be a Tom, a Tommy,
or a Thomas,
or Thomas,
or Tomash,
or Tom? What's your preference?
Tommy.
Yeah,
that's formally it's Tom, but
yeah, never Thomas.
No, it just doesn't suit me.
Yeah, I mean, I've never gone by that. In my life,
and
so
you don't strike me as a Tom.
No, I don't think I live up to it. Tom
no, the bar is very
Tom
low.
Brady.
You're beyond it.
Tom Jones. It's a high bar.
It's not unusual.
Exactly. Good pull.
Thank you. Lots of themes today on the show. One of them was destinations, ballparks, football stadiums, rinks. For you, bucket list, some that you haven't been to that you'd like to, because I know you've gone on some trips.
I've done a
watched.
few.
You've had some sojourns.
Yeah, Lambeau is the one for me.
That'd
I
be
would
cool.
love to do Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Even Soldier Field is another one. How it looks prime time, kind of dark in the crowd,
spaceship
lit up on the field. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Baseball wise, there's a ton.
Yeah.
I think there's every diamond I'd like to go check out. We were supposed to go to Dodger Stadium back in 2020. Obviously, things interrupted that one, so we couldn't go out to that one.
Damn.
NHL wise, probably MSG. I think
that's a great one.
I think that would be the cool. I mean, you've been to, I guess, all except Utah now.
I have not been to Seattle and Utah, and the
Seattle,
new
Utah.
Islanders one.
Mm-hmm.
I did experience the other 2 Islanders ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Nets Stadium with the impeded vision, and wasn't there a car there or
Barclays Center.
something?
Yeah, it sucked.
Barclays Center. Yeah,
it was weird. It was not a good setup. And then Nassau Coliseum. I know they renovated it. It dropped down to 13,000 seats, but it was old and it was tiny.
Yeah,
had a weird stank to it.
Could imagine that.
Joe Louis Arena, I didn't think was particularly good.
No,
it had a funky smell to it as well. It was very bare bones.
I think we heard that about the old Buffalo rink too. Odor. I don't know if you had been to that one or
No,
I don't even know when
no.
that one shut down.
96 is when they opened the new Buffalo. Well, I guess it's old now. It's
Yeah.
30 years old, but
Newer.
yeah. The best in the NHL, Rogers Place, we truly have a jewel because it's functional, it's well maintained. Everything's it's a great facility, but Detroit Little Caesars is one of the best. They went 250 million over budget.
Oh, really?
You can tell.
Yeah.
Do
they sell Little Caesars in there?
Of course. Yeah.
I'm a fan of a hot and ready every once in a while.
Every now and then, it's quick and dirty. Get it in you. Where else is great? Chicago is fantastic. Montreal is fantastic.
Calgary should be great too. Hey,
I think it's
when
going to
it
be
comes?
awesome, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a benefit to Edmonton in terms of concerts and shows and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
100%.
Yeah, and
Make a couple
listen,
stops.
The Saddle Dome sucks. It's well past its due.
Yeah. I've never been to a game at the Saddle Dome.
It's okay. I honestly think that the end of the Coliseum here was still better than what the Saddle Dome provided.
Really?
or
Like right
provides.
now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, the interior of the Coliseum wasn't that nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't aesthetically pleasing, but I think that they did a great job at Northlands of maintaining it.
Did the
and
renovations
The
and everything, yeah.
renovations, the concourses were nice. And I think functionality, I think, was better than the Saddle Dome as well.
I got to get to Calgary and get in the press box.
At
I've
the
heard
Saddle Dome?
the walk across.
Go
is
do it.
Very intimidating, but
Yeah.
I'd like to give it a go.
Those floorboards from 1984 or 1983 are still in there.
You're stepping through.
Yeah, it's it freaks you out a
Yeah.
little bit, and the slope in the roof kind of
Mhm.
throws your balance off, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
Winnipeg's a good atmosphere. They've done a good job putting a lot of love into that facility. Trying to think which ones are Really, really. Dallas, I always thought was great, but they're fighting with the Mavs, and they're gonna have to
They want to move,
build
right?
their own. Yeah,
yeah, like 45 minutes away from downtown. Is
Yeah.
it? Like northeast
Frisco.
Yeah, don't love that for the fan base, but
No,
that's kind of seems to be the trend now. These owners moving into the markets where they can get a little more bang for the buck.
it's not just a hockey team or basketball team.
Yeah,
It's the rink, it's the district,
Mhm.
it's the parking, it's the concessions, it's a amusement park. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Never
all
been
there.
to that one. Never been to Dallas.
That one's beautiful.
Yeah,
And Jerry World's always are also beautiful.
I should say that's on the bucket list as well. Just to go take in like the monstrosity that is.
Yeah.
SoFi, Levi Stadium, all those new ones. Would love to check them out.
I said SoFi and I said Allegiant.
Yeah.
And I got ew from some people.
Really?
Yeah.
SoFi, I don't know. It's open air, which is kind of cool.
You went, right?
I've never been.
Oh, because you have to go see the Chargers then.
Yeah, I've been to Qualcomm, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. And then that was in San Diego, but
They
I haven't.
tore that down, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty heartbreaking. The school stopped using it as well. San Diego, the Aztecs. So yeah, I still haven't been down to LA yet, which we will do. Like we're gonna take Benny for sure to Disneyland, and it's gonna happen to coincide with the Chargers game. Just
Of course.
has to happen.
As one does.
Yeah,
That's a family affair.
but yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
That's
Disneyland and Chargers.
Hey, now we
Ram-
got this.
Rams too expensive.
Yeah.
Chargers, family environment.
They're the Clippers to the Lakers when they were both
100%.
sharing the same
Yeah.
facility.
The Angels, the Chargers.
Yeah.
The
I liked
Ducks.
Angels games.
Yeah.
I thought Angel Stadium, whatever it's called now, I really thought it was nice. I know they've talked about renovating it or doing something with it, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. The crappiest stadium I've ever been to, Oakland Coliseum.
I would believe that. They
It's
did not
dump.
care anymore, did they?
They really didn't, and you
Moving
could
on.
tell.
Yeah.
They just gave up. It sucked.
I was at Qualcomm, so down in San Diego. Oh, geez. Before they tore it down, obviously. It was on par with Commonwealth, but leaking. Like I
Ooh.
ended up kind of in the bowels, like getting a beer and leaking. Hadn't rained in a while. Don't know what the water is coming from.
Where is that coming
Yeah,
from?
so it was just like, yeah, maybe it's time they build a new one.
You can tell when a franchise doesn't care
Yeah,
and has given up on its facility.
100%.
Yeah.
That was Qualcomm.
Okay, fair enough. Speaking of the NFL, I think we're waiting for Jahmyr Gibbs in this signing.
Yeah.
And then Bijan just signed. The money, the running backs now, they're getting their love, aren't they?
It's awesome to see. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of these guys are starting to kind of circle back to what we used to see in the early 2000s with the Tomlinsons and Adrian Peterson eventually. Those guys who can kind of do it all. You're not just a running back, you're a versatile receiver. You're not out of position when it comes to blocking as well. So good for them for getting paid. I mean, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, I thought that was automatic. Like the second one of them gets done, what's the hesitation?
Yeah.
You're just going to make the next guy $100,000 more. He's the highest paid player in the league. And I think AAV for Bijan was just over 22 million, which is kind of where we saw it. When it first came out, it was 3 years, 75 million.
Yes.
So it seemed like it was 70 or 25 per year, but it was just a bump up from the previous highest paid running back. And now I believe Jonathan Taylor's kind of right in that mix as well. For me, it's kind of simple. Like we've seen another back get that big contract. I don't think anyone else is in line. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, just pay the man his money because he is dynamic. He's such an explosive weapon and he's so huge for that offense. So it seems like it's a pretty easy negotiation for him.
Well, I know he was suited up in his pads and practicing earlier, but I haven't seen any updates. I'm on Twitter right now just trying to see what I can find, but I don't see it. Anything else NFL wise? How are your Chargers looking?
So far so good. They are all upright. There's a little scare Rashawn Slater. He had a patella injury last season, so they think that could linger. He's their left tackle, but he's okay. He had a little bit of a hiccup in practice, left, wanted to get back out there. So obviously staff said, no, we're not letting you get back out there with the injury. But other than that, it's interesting. I mean, Justin Herbert's getting cooked for having his hair rubbed by his fiance after practice. That's a weird thing. But
He's with that Madison
Beer, yeah.
That's beautiful.
International superstar.
Yes.
Hanging out with Tate McRae last night.
Ah,
yeah.
It was one of the
Bring it back
Hughes
home.
brothers. Or which one is it? Jack Hughes?
Jack Hughes, I think. I don't think so. If he was there, he didn't make the Instagram, which could be a telling sign. But yeah, no, things are looking good. How are you feeling about the Cards tonight?
Not good. Oh, tonight.
Tonight?
Okay, like whatever. It's the Hall of Fame game. I was telling the guys earlier, I'm more excited to just see Larry Fitzgerald to remember old times.
The GOAT.
He was so good. Such a good guy.
Yeah.
Great in the community.
Never an issue.
Never an issue.
Never complained about the quarterback play.
So reliable.
Yeah.
Highlight reel catches. I hope or pray that somehow Marvin Harrison Jr. gets to spend time around Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he could learn so much if he's willing to.
Which is crazy because his dad's a Hall of Famer as well.
Sure.
You think he would have absorbed enough from being around his dad and Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning as a kid, right? To kind of pick up on those things. But it couldn't hurt. I like Michael Wilson, though. I like Trey McBride. There's some good pieces there for sure.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love.
Ball.
Yeah. Need a good coordinator. Jacoby Brissett strong-armed the team into that new deal. I would have just said, you know what, man, we want to lose. Trying to get Arch Manning here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hold out. We'll throw Carson back out there.
Brando kind of brought that up. He's like, how much do you want to play Brissett? And I'm like, I guess. This team sucks, man.
They're going to go probably 0-6 in the division.
Yeah.
A really good division.
Well, they're going to get crushed by every one of those teams.
So there's a good start for you. I don't know. The game tonight, and I say it every year, I'm like, damn, I'm so fired up for football. And then we get to the second quarter and the backups come out and it's just like, okay, this isn't quite what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Let's go watch the CFL instead.
Yeah.
But, it's going to be fun to see the game tonight.
And I will be watching, hopefully with a frosty cold one in hand, and then flip it over to Stamps and Argos as well. What's coming up on the show today? Or shows, I should say.
Oh, let me check the old lineup here. We're continuing our NFL tour as we go around the NFL. Today, Indianapolis.
Oh.
Got this guest actually before Jonathan Taylor signed. So James Boyd of The Athletic will join us.
Excellent.
And then on the Gregor show today, what do we have coming up? Oh, Jason Moss, head coach of the Owls. I got David Owens in for Thirsty Thursday. We're going to, in all likelihood, have a member of the Elks at 3:20 Livingston. We got the Roundtable Spec, Cam Tate, and trying to get out to Pittsburgh as well. Talk some Penguins as we go around the NHL as we do every day.
Hey, did we have Josh Getzoff on recently? Play-by-play man. Do you want, he's great.
Is he?
He's fantastic.
I reached out to Josh Yohe.
Josh Yohe.
But no answer yet. So
if no Josh Yohe, how about Josh Getzoff? I can help with that.
Josh is good. Josh is a Josh.
Help me help you.
We'll take it.
I'll facilitate.
Is he like you?
Yes.
Yeah? You guys are tight? So
I would say we're friends. We're planning on getting a beer when he's through town.
Tom made a new best friend on the show this morning.
I did. Ben
Standing.
Oh, Commanders.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He brought up the fact that you don't hear guys throwing out the term best friend that often.
Because everybody is calling Jaden Daniels their best friend.
Yeah.
All these former teammates and current teammates now.
Oh,
evidently.
Really? And then he was like, I don't know about you, but not that many people go around touting me as their best friend. And so then Tom was like, you can be my best friend.
We changed that today. That was a
nice
touch.
We made a difference today, Tom.
I hope so, Brando. I feel like we did.
I don't think I have a best friend.
What
the
about
wife
your wife?
would be the one that pops off, but growing up,
Ashley, you didn't hear that.
I've got top 3 maybe. But I don't know if I could pick one above the rest.
I have a best friend that I've had for many, many years. I don't talk to him every day.
Mm-hmm.
I send him stupid memes all the time and he does the same.
Yeah.
But then very close friends, I find it's like a rotating thing.
I think the best friend, you don't have to talk every day. There's that common bond.
Yeah.
Just we're good.
You just see each other and you're like, yeah, pick up where we left off
100%.
6 months ago.
Well, I did not know about Jaden Daniels being everybody's best friend. So
we learned this today.
I hope they protect him. Glad they got another receiver.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big pickup in Stephon Diggs. You think, I asked Ben about this, but Diggs can be a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah.
So do you think he'll play nice? 1-year deal?
I think so.
Yeah.
But, is there going to be a controversy at some point? I'd almost guarantee it. What's the level going to be
like that?
There was the video of him on Instagram Live on the boat with some girls. How, in the grand scheme of things, how big of a deal is that? Probably not that big a deal.
But
as an NFL player, it gets magnified, right?
Yeah.
So,
and you're doing it on purpose, knowing that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then, the Cardi B breakup was pretty big.
Whatever.
Did you? Well, we don't need to get into that.
Tell me more.
Well, the rumor is that he got his baby mama better seats for the playoff game than Cardi B, and that is what led to the breakup.
Do you think Cardi B knew about the baby mama beforehand?
She must. Well, probably.
Do you think she had some sugar daddies on? I don't know.
I mean, maybe he could have just been like, "Hey, like I wanted my kids to be closer." I don't know.
Okay, a baby mama's different than like side
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Totally. That I would understand. But like,
But
she had your kids, you know?
yeah, and listen, let's not be too oblivious to it. That happens. That stuff happens. So scandalous.
The life of a professional athlete, right?
Well, yeah.
And people are getting mad at my guy for getting his hair pushed to the side from his fiance.
She's just looking out for him.
Yeah, he's got long hair.
Yeah.
It happens.
PDAs, baby.
Practice was over. No big deal.
Yeah, let her enjoy him.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
I think they're just jealous.
Probably.
Yeah, but he's got to get that playoff win to shut him up.
Okay, really true. But really quickly on that note, Travis Kelce, he looked a little thicker.
I saw that.
Yeah.
But then I saw another view of a Chiefs reporter put out that he didn't look too big. But I mean, he's not the athlete he once was, right?
No.
We're all adding a few extra pounds here
I'm trying to shed mine,
in our late
but yeah.
30s. It gets tougher. So
it does.
I don't know. I think he's such just a savvy vet. He doesn't need to be the athlete he once was. He'll just push off and get away with it and find himself to get a good 500 receiving yards this year.
Very good.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
And
listen, I think he's one of those savvy vets who is not always eager to be in training camp and maybe is utilizing it to get to shape.
100%. Probably had a very fun off season.
I would think
Got
so.
married, right?
He certainly
did get married and probably had a nice honeymoon. So what are you going to do? Cut him? I don't think that's going to happen.
He doesn't care.
No.
He doesn't care.
I'm surprised he came back, actually.
This is it, though, right?
I think so.
Swan
I mean,
song.
it probably didn't want to go out the way they did last season. Probably wants to get to the postseason again. But yeah, hey, we'll see how it works out. There's been some funny videos of Patrick Mahomes in training camp.
I've seen some of them. They're pretty funny. I was also sent one from Belzy about the Cardinals and their struggles at training camp. So
Was it like a 2-minute long compilation? Yeah. How that footage gets out, I do not know.
Well, you know what scared me the most? Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping a lot of catchable passes.
Yeah. And then one of the plays, like the quarterback got blown up. Like, didn't even look like he got hit. Just lost his feet, went up.
It's going to be a long year.
But you know what? Low expectations, little stress. Just enjoy the games.
As my Uncle Diego always says, aim low and achieve.
Yeah, and that might be the method. And then you know what? It's going to pay off.
Yes, I hope you're right, Connor. Thank you for the time. This was wonderful as always. Have a great couple of shows.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Okay, there you go. Connor Halley. He's got the Frenzy with Brando coming up next, and then you can catch him on the Jason Greger Show. We're going to step out for one last break. When we return, the final segment of the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Founded by a former pro motorsports competitor, Evolve Wheels and Tires brings decades of experience in custom wheels, lowering kits, lift kits, and accessories. Visit Evolve Wheels and Tires in West Edmonton, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride, evolve your experience.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
All right, let's bring it home. Lovely Thursday. Been a fun Gazzola show. Brought to you by Bet365, Tom Gazzola, Brandon Douglas, Donovan Paulson, Connor Spivak in studio. You got the Frenzy coming up next. Keep it locked on 1440 all day long. Taking you through the day. Fun stuff, serious stuff, everything in between. And we've got it for you all day long. Okay, some stuff to get to. We were talking about bucket list stadiums and arenas and things like that. A lot of people chimed in on it. And then there are a few other texts that came in. Like the Rig was talking about Travis Kelce. He says, you shouldn't be bigger. After all, he spent the summer riding. Oh, boy. I'll just leave that there. Derek says, boys, the Bell Center is the best, in my opinion. Derek, it is, to me, the cathedral of hockey, the steepness of the seating arrangement and how dialed in the atmosphere. A Saturday night game there is amazing. Really, really is amazing. I highly recommend if you get to Montreal, to Chicago, MSG, just phenomenal. And special mention to Winnipeg. Obviously, a lot of Albertans, Edmontonians, if they get a chance, they've checked out a game in Vegas. Super, super time as well. We're talking about Kelly Rudy and him moving on from hockey night, and then giving some love to Joanne Ireland and Dave Moyer for their inductions into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. And then Greater Man Jay says, I blocked a shot with a Jofa, resulting in 8 stitches to my left ear. Back in the day, those Jofa helmets were ridiculous. I had one and everybody mocked me. Kelly Rudy wore one as an NHL goalie for over a decade. It had minimal protection. Hammer says that helmet only to be outdone by Arturs Urbe, who also had that same setup the crappy Jofa, like the Gretzky, McSorley, Curry, Jofa, with this like smooshed face mask that probably didn't protect you a ton. Urbe, Donovan, you were talking about like the goalie gear you saw at the Hockey Hall of Fame on your recent trip. Arturs Urbe not only wore the weirdest gear, the ugliest helmet you could as a goalie, Jofa. He also, I think, wore Coho pads, and he didn't get new pads. He would just fix his old ones over and over and over again. And I think he was actually the one who fixed his own gear. He's very unique in that regard. Did you know that? Did they have his gear in the Hockey Hall of Fame? Like, that stuff belongs in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I think they must have. I don't remember fully. There was just so much going on that I couldn't take possibly everything in.
So much.
All
It's
at the
such a
same
cool
time.
place.
However, yeah, just looking back at like the evolution of goaltending equipment,
Yeah.
particularly the masks, obviously in the Hockey Hall of Fame, it's actually insane. You look at some of these old goalie masks, and it's basically just like, you know, a strip going across your cheekbones, and then you have like the strip up top on your
Yep.
forehead, and then you got a chin strap. It was insanity because you know that there's no way in hell that a puck is being stopped by these little 3 posts that are just randomly assorted across your face. I found it monumentally stupid to think that somebody actually stood in goal with a puck flying at their face with that on. But I mean, hey, all the power to those guys. They had probably the scariest job in sports at one point.
Big cojones, as they say.
Massive cojones.
Yeah.
Maybe the the size of the arena.
Brass ones. You know, you're right about those very early fiberglass masks. I think Jacques Plante really introduced the mask in the 50s after he had his nose busted. There had been some forms of mask prior to that, but he really brought it in and kind of normalized it. It took like 20 years for it to become like the standard. But the guys that did not wear masks, and you see like there's an artist did a mock-up of Terry Sawchuk's face with all the scars and cuts and nicks he had on his face during his career. And it's just like stitches here, stitches there, zippers up here. It's really scary if you think about it. But back then, guys who were slight in build couldn't clap a puck 105 miles an hour. It was the big boys who could shoot it, but they're using wood sticks. A lot of the times, minimal curves, if any curve. And unless the goalie went down, pucks weren't flying the way they do now with such ease. But you're right. When you think back on it, it's crazy. But a lot of times, it's the technology, too, of the sticks that has changed. And the power of the players. They're much stronger than they used to be.
It is crazy to think how far, particularly hockey, but even a sport like golf, has come with the technology of the equipment.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy going to the Hall of Fame and just seeing like even the old pucks when they in the vault room there they had a puck. I don't remember what year it was from, but they had like the game scribbled into the puck.
Mhm.
Like it was just etched in with, I don't know what it was
A
etched in
knife
with,
or
a knife,
a screwdriver.
yeah, something. And
Yeah.
you just see, like, you look at what the old puck looked like and you go, oh my God,
Yeah.
even the puck has changed this much, right? There's just so much history behind every sport in the world. But that gave me kind of a whole new appreciation for some of the real elder statesmen
Yeah.
of the game.
I'm glad you got to experience it. Highly recommend the Hockey Hall of Fame. You know what's another cool display that I forgot about? The evolution of Stanley Cup championship rings.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up because that one, the first one, I saw the first one and it's literally just, for those who haven't seen it, it's almost like a
wedding band.
A man's wedding band.
Yeah.
And then you pan forward, you see this Florida Panthers massive hunk that is
Yeah.
Probably quadruple the size of the wedding band style ring. And even just like the first one that has the diamonds on it,
Yep.
I think it was 30 years after the wedding band style one, maybe even 40. And you pan forwards, and that one is just like one singular diamond, and there's almost nothing to it. It's crazy. It's a great show, Tommy.
Very, very cool that you got to experience. I love it. I'm remembering things through your experience, which I appreciate. A couple more texts. Todd says, Dave Moore was my neighbor in Calgary. His son is carrying on the Stats tradition. Yes. Good point. Dave Moisty, I think still, or no, maybe he lives in Kelowna now. Anyway, very happy for him getting into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. There was a couple more. Yankee Stadium was another one brought up for a pilgrimage. Keith says, I was lucky enough to see a game in Yankee Stadium where Derek Jeter hit a grand slam home run. It was epic. Yankees fans are pretty passionate. Yes, they are. The bleacher creatures or whatever, very boisterous and really, really neat. Even the new Yankee Stadium is pretty sweet as well. Ken says, back in the day, that's why they called Johnny Bauer Old Leatherface, no mask. And he was a smaller guy, I think. Brian says, not wearing a mask is brave. And Brandon from Windsor says, Urbe would run over his pads in the parking lot with his car to flatten them out. Brando, any final thoughts from you?
I got nothing.
You got nothing. You got
Friday Junior.
Friday Junior. We got through it, baby.
We did.
Yes. Good show.
Another one bites the dust.
I'm looking forward to Friday, or as we like to say sometimes, Fry. Yay. Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Always appreciate it. Fun show. And we wrap up the week on the Tom Gazzola Show tomorrow with a slew of great guests, as always. For Donovan Paulson, for Connor Spivak, for Brandon Douglas, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of your day. Let's get to the final Sports 1440 update of the show, brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand. High-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with the Z. Have a great one, everyone. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 10 of the CFL kicking off tonight in Toronto with the 3-4 Argonauts playing host to the 4-4 Calgary Stampeders, getting underway at 5:30 from BMO Field. NFL preseason game number 1, the Hall of Fame affair, kicking off from Canton, Ohio at 6 o'clock. Arizona Cardinals taking on the Carolina Panthers. Carson Beck, third-round pick out of Miami, set to make his pro debut under center for Arizona. NHL offseason news, the Pittsburgh Penguins extending RFA forward Ville Koivunen on an 8-year deal, $32 million in total for the forward that spent last year split between the AHL Wilkes-Barre Penguins and in Pittsburgh. 2 goals, 5 assists on the year. Earlier on this morning, Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts coming to terms on a 2-year, $44 million extension. $39 million of that is fully guaranteed. Third largest deal in NFL history for a running back. And lighter day in the majors, including the Toronto Blue Jays making a pit stop in Chicago for the nightcap. CEBL playoffs getting underway across the country, including the Edmonton Stingers in Vancouver against the Bandits. Tip-off 8 o'clock for the West semifinal. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas, at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. See